Alright, I'm pushing the button. Button's pushed. Alright.
Cool.
So, I did promise,
Hi, YouTube.
yes. I did promise Darkfire that I would go over it, like, his bit, his bit first, since we spent so much time in the other building. So, uh, Darkfire, you had gone in the place, and, like, little spout was essentially flew back out. They do welcome you in because, you know, you, quote, know the tongue, unquote.
Oh yeah.
But yes, you are walking in, and they're leading you in, and it's kind of weird because the area that they seem to, like, appear from, it wasn't actually invisibility on their end. As you kind of walk forward, you feel just like a slight pull on your body as if you're going through something, like, very viscous, but it's not actually physical. And the next thing you know, you are within what seems to be a much larger kind of forested area. The sun, the sun is actually, it seems almost fixed in the sky at a much, almost like a noonish kind of time. And somewhat like, somewhat scattered around are like different, much younger looking, well, druids. Kind of walking around either with books in their hands or practicing small, like prestidigitation levels of like magic for some of the ones that look as if they could be freshmen.
Oh, okay.
There's
Does this forest area look bigger than it should have?
yes, it looks it from where you're standing. It looks like you could literally go for miles.
Is there some kind of check I could make to know what this is? Like what kind of magic or what it is?
Go for it.
Like what kind of check
Oh,
would that be?
spellcraft, I believe,
Or like planes knowledge?
or that, yeah.
Okay, so
So many options.
Whoops, hang on.
Alright, Lee, thank you, Pathfinder 2, for bringing prestidigitation to more classes.
With that spellcraft, you wouldn't know the exact spell. You just know it does have to do with the School of Conjuration specifically. And you would know that it also has something to do with planes. Yes, your assumption out of character is actually pretty spot on. But yeah, they don't seem to be acknowledging you there, and it does seem like, funnily enough, that you are the only Phoenix Wolf in this area. Most of the druids in this area look like they are sphinxes. There are a couple unicorns, as well as like maybe one or two like Earth Pony and Pegasi just kind of around. Most of the ones in the air that seem to have taken are the sphinxes because they have wings, and funnily enough, like a couple other unicorns who seem to be kind of using the same spell that Stardancer had used previously to give herself wings.
oh, okay. So I guess from now on, obviously, I'm just speaking in Druidic, but here's the Phoenix Wolf that led me. Is like, oh, this is all rather impressive. What kind of things do you even study here?
And she kind of nods and looks outwards. Oh, the many mysteries of nature. You know how it can be. Though I must admit, some of the she kind of lowers her voice. The newer ones don't seem to be quite as whimsical as most Ruth can be. And right as she says this, like in the distance, you see a couple freshmen just kind of like, for lack of better terms, memeing at each other.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go in a different direction with that. If you're talking about fresh, collapsing beer cans on each other's foreheads.
That'd be a really funny thing to watch a druid do. I wouldn't lie.
That's only on the weekends.
They're not beer cans though. They're mead flagons. They're entirely made of.
Additionally, funnily enough, as you're kind of talking and you're seeing this go down from like a group of trees out almost in the distance, you see and hear this like giant like boom, and a giant like one of the a voice from over there, a male voice, kind of calling out, "Ow, fuck!"
What was that?
She looks looks over. Oh, it's game day tomorrow. I think he's just practicing. It usually happens.
Do you mind if I go watch what he's doing? I've never really seen this game before.
You might guess. It's pretty much exclusive to Arrowon. We get a lot of outsiders who want to see it. And she gestures a paw, and you are free to go there if you wish.
Well, I'll kind of start trotting over in that direction and just kind of looking around and seeing what the others are doing as I pass by.
Well, the others, like I said, like it's mostly like an open area where you're walking through down to this group of trees, and like they just seem to be kind of studying or making little things grow on the ground, or a couple of them seem to be kind of summoning in like small critters that and giving them like hugs, and one of them in particular is, you could tell, is trying to show off to a group of other female sphinxes with like small bunnies and things like that. And as you approach, you get a better view of what's going on in that group of trees. There seems to be a like a darker colored sphinx with a more grayish palette about him. That's seems to be like in battle, at least in a battle stance. However, the things that he's facing seems to be a giant kind of wooden target of a black dragon.
Interesting.
And he's firing at it, and you do see like a couple different fire spells like fly out their way toward it, as he just kind of like waves a couple of paws, and with an explosion, the whole wooden thing just kind of bursts outward. However, a second later, you see the pieces start to come back together as he kind of shifts position and dips and dives and seems to be practicing just on his own.
Alright, well, I'll just watch for a bit then, for now. If you want to move to the others for a bit.
That is fair, that is fair. Well, Little Spout, you were effectively left alone. However, when you exited the place, you did see Star Dancer, Isdell Ring Dancer, Steady Shoot, and the rest of the gang, like, go down into this central building, specifically the wing that Star Dancer is standing on.
I mean, that's valid, but Little Spot actually does have a thing to get to.
Oh.
Yes, maybe she has to fly right close to the ground. Zoom. She has a thing to get everybody signed up for. La, 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 la.
Oh no. And you start going over this place. It's, funnily enough, this place is more or less empty at the moment. There doesn't seem to be anybody at least that many people like going over the bridge or anything like that. However, you do still constantly see like more and more of those posters of the Capture the Princess game, and
That was only getting more excited.
and out in the distance as you kind of near it, because I assume you're going all the way over here, yeah?
Unless something stops her.
There doesn't seem to be anything stopping you.
Nothing can
Pretty
stop
sure
me.
that I'm not doing that. There we go.
And Little Spout, you kind of you make your way over here, and there seems to be like a lone sphinx, somewhat older. He kind of has a weird mustache on. You can definitely tell he's on in age. And he's just kind of like looks up, and blows a little bit of hair out of his one of his eyes. And he's just like, "Oi, it's not game day yet."
Little Spout lands before him. Yep, that's right. But I want to be there. Because me and my friends, pointing back and all the people who are not there, are ready to compete.
All right, 20 gold per ticket.
I said compete.
Kind of rolls his eyes. You on one of the school teams?
I can be.
And kind of just grumbles to himself a bit. Well, you're gonna have to ask the teams themselves if you can join. Just the ticketing manager.
Oh, where do I find those?
He kind of thinks a little bit. One's playing
Need
tomorrow.
someone with, like a connection to the university. Someone like that.
Absolutely silly things.
And he just kind of
If only you knew someone like that.
well, he actually kind of thinks a little bit and just kind of gestures generally out to that building that's shaped like an X. I hear that one halfling is one of the captains of the teams here. Probably go ask him.
Okay. Bye. Flying all the way the other way.
What are you guys doing, Start Answer? The rest of the gang?
Okay, so
So you just did a thing with magic blood.
I did a thing. Well, I didn't use any blood.
But
Oh,
it
wow,
has to do
got
with
it.
blood lines, right?
Yes, but there's no blood.
Under that assumption.
No blood was moved or exchanged. So
Right.
That was quite the interesting thing.
Look, it's important to study as to whether or not
all right. So we just had a thing. Who all was blown back into the wall?
Me.
Everybody who didn't make their fortitude, or everybody who didn't make their fortitude save was blown back into the wall and blinded.
did I make my fortitude save?
I don't know. Let me scroll up in the chat because that was one of the last things we did. Let's see.
I made a 27. That's
No,
right.
you didn't make it.
Wait, was that intimidate?
Fortitude. Yeah, you made a 27. Ring dancer was blown back. Isdell, you were fine. Wait, no, that's an intimidate check. Isdell, you were not fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually find the text.
My 27 was my fortitude save. Is that enough?
Oh yeah, that's definitely enough for you. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
Oh,
I was gonna
there's
be
the
like,
fortitude saves.
I was waiting for you to be like, no, it's not a
No, it wasn't that bad.
7 for a static magic effect.
Pretty much steady shoot. It was just like a blinding flash of light with like a considerable amount of force. However, you can just close your eyes and you are heavy. So.
I am stalwart. Thank you very much.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
I am steady.
Well, you
Okay, so they're all blasted in the back,
Look, I had a
Um,
glass of rum.
and yeah,
Probably gonna have more rums.
that
And
sounds
look
good.
yourselves out. First time deaf. Now I'm freaking blind. What else could go wrong?
I mean, if you're blinded, you're only blinded for about like 30-ish seconds, or you see the scene before you of
It's still long enough.
yeah.
Okay,
Start it.
Frustrated.
so after the effects there, start kind of okay. It gets up. Okay, did it work? Looks back.
Carnelian
Yeah,
is
it worked.
Looks like it worked.
Carnelian's kind of blinking his eyes slowly.
Grow wings.
But Carnelian's blinking his eyes slowly. He just kind of is still frowning. He just like looks onward, somewhat to the left of you, as if he can't actually see you yet. Would say it's quite lovely. However, I really can't.
Well, the optical effects were quite a bit more than I was expecting.
And
However, it does seem to have worked.
Is this a magical blood thing or not?
Yes. So my research has been into the effects of the what is known as the unification bloodline, and how that affects other parties, and if it can be transferred or copied. And it appears that I was right, and the Pegasus part of it is wind aspected.
So not so useful for land?
Well, I mean, I'm not researching that specifically. I'm sure we could go talk to the other sorcerers here. They've probably researched into that if you're really looking into that.
And Carnelian just kind of holds up a hoof at this, somewhat like looking in the direction of Steady, who is more or less a blurry shape for him at this point, and just kind of gets this
But I'm
tiny.
a very obviously large.
Yeah, that's why you're. That's why.
shapes.
Yes.
Definitely succeeding.
Well, yes, but you're just blurry in his eyes given the blinding. But like,
Large,
Or,
a
of
large
course,
green shape.
yeah, or of course, you could ask Carnelian here, who is kind of specializes in this kind of thing.
and he gives the tiniest, almost indistinguishable smirk as he kind of looks toward Steady. You want to give me some of your blood? I'd be more than happy to take it. I mean, he holds up another syringe, not the one he used for, not the one he used for Star Dancer, but he holds up a different syringe that's that hasn't been used yet. I still got my gloves on.
Now worried.
In the background, Star has launched herself into Blitz's arms, is chanting, "It worked! It worked! It worked! It worked!"
Little Spout, from the outside, just briefly as you're kind of flying over, you see what looks like a very large hippogriff, kind of almost galumphing toward this wing over here, saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm late! I bet I'm late!" And she just kind of rushes into one of the what looks to be a door, but as it opens, it kind of turns into an elevator, and it closes behind her.
Door evader.
Darn those door invaders.
And as you guys kind of sit there admiring Miss Star Dancer, you guys would just kind of hear this like thump 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 coming from down the hallway. All right, so.
We're looking down the hallway, I assume.
Okay. Well, you tell me.
Sorry. Specific. I was
Yeah.
specific.
So.
We're looking down the hallway.
Looking down this hallway, let me pull up something here. There seems to be a very large, kind of, if you've ever seen a Rainbow Lorikeet style hippogriff, just kind of galumphing her way almost in a, like, seems like a panicked way. I mean, specifically for a hippogriff who isn't snow aspected in that sense, it's quite amazing how big she is, at least for her size. And if you're peeking out of the hallway, Steady Shoot, I need you to give me a strength check really quick.
Okay. That I should.
Oof.
Alright. Do I not do well?
Well, let's see here. Oof. Well, this rather large griffin starts, like, it almost seems to ignore you as she's trying to get into the room that you're in, and just kind of...
She collides with me, and the two of us stop punching.
Yeah, and, like, she first shouts, like, move, darling! And then just, she can't move you, and you are, like, you're at a stalemate at this point.
I am
she,
looking at her like it's a very, very strange thing.
and she stands back, and she kind of puts her wings on her hips. She looks back, you're in my way, darling, you best move!
I'm blinking, and I sneeze.
Thump, 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 she galumps in. Oh my stars! Star Dancer! She's talking to you, Star Dancer.
Sorry, I have to calm down for a second.
I killed him.
Just about.
There's too much death in
Next
the
up.
world already.
Oh, sorry for not waiting. It worked.
I can see that, darling. Oh my luminance. You look just simply fantastic. Oh my gosh, can I touch him?
I probably should have read that book.
Not something you should just simply ask.
Well,
Well, I mean, she has wings also, so it's kind of, but...
thump, 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 thump. I mean, she's already going over. Permission or not, almost, it seemed. And she just
Yeah, pretty much.
starts, like, kind of poking him and, like, looking all over, just constantly repeating the words, oh my, oh my, oh my.
It's weird.
And, she just seems almost, it's like a mixture of overjoyed and overwhelmed, almost. And, after a moment or two, she steps back and she puts her wings back on her hips. You know what this means, right?
Big celebration?
It means you're gonna need to eat a lot. You got a new set right here, and oh my, you're gonna need so much to actually keep you going. I'm not sure how you're gonna keep up with how much you currently eat.
Don't think that's going to be a problem, but you know, we're always happy to have some.
You know better than to
And back.
oh, welcome back.
Sure, everybody's waiting.
You know better than to tell Big Mama she can't. You ain't gonna eat none of her stews now.
Oh no,
you know
I
this.
wasn't saying that. I was just saying I'm fine, but you know I love your kicking.
She kind of nods. Big Mama knows what she's doing, and she kind of turns around to the different people who are in this room, likely blinking, to get rid of their blindness, but should be gone by now.
Reactions.
As long as you got some fried catfish, I'll be good.
I'm fine.
She kind of she still has one of her wings on her hips. However, she kind of goes up to you first, steady shoot, and holds out one of the wings. Well, hello there.
I nod. My hoof comes up. Doesn't really know how to do that, so he sort of just holds it out and is like, I'm not sure.
Give me a strength check.
Waving it vaguely. What?
Give me a strength check. You manage to hold your grip rather well as she grips your hoof within the wing. Is it a very firm shake?
I am larger than she is.
And she looks up. Ooh, you got yourself a man here, Star Dancer.
I lean down and I say, I hit things with an axe.
And she looks to you, Star Dancer, and almost gives a disapproving look. Could have chosen better if you ask me. And then she goes over to
He has enough problems, and I don't need any of those problems.
I don't have what?
I said he has enough problems, and
And,
I don't need any of those problems.
She makes her way over to you, Isdell. However, she just kind of sizes. You see her like kind of size you up a little bit, and she holds out a wing. However, it doesn't look like she's going to like try to rip it off, rip off whatever you might shake her wing with.
I just gently pull my claws in and shake her wing with my paw.
Nice to meet you, darling.
Sweet you too.
She looks toward the others. Ring Dancer and Candlelight are more than eager to give her a nice hoof shake. Ring Dancer actually gives her one that might put Mr. Steady Shoot to shame, if anything. However, pulling back, she kind of looks toward the lot of you and gives you all a very stern look. All right, now, hello. My name is Big Mama. Well, at least my friends call me Big Mama. You're my friends, aren't you?
Say yes.
I blink at her.
You're friends now, aren't you? Well, thank you. Big Mama had to deal with problems. No, she kind of takes.
It's hard to bully. I don't know. It's either hard or easy to bully my character.
Well, she kind of starts taking a hit.
Depends on whether or not you try to control him with shame or not.
She kind of starts.
Control him with shame is easy.
She kinda-
Otherwise, it's hard.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So she starts kind of taking a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after she's done counting, she finishes the count with you, Star Dancer. Is this all you've been traveling with?
There were two others. I think one ended up in the Druid Circle, and the little tiny one, I have no idea where she went.
Hmm. Well, we best be on the search for them. I'd love to meet more of your friends. Star Dancer, are you okay?
I didn't hear you. I you cut off.
Oh, my bad. She kind of like raised a little eyebrow. It was just, well, we should go looking for them. I'd love to meet the rest of y'all friends.
Probably not a bad idea, and I need to get used to this. So, I guess we should get it going.
All right. And kind of shaking his head at these antics, Carnelian and Blitz follow you outward, and they begin walking and chatting all the way up to the elevator. Meanwhile, we go to for the list now, Darkfire.
Alright. Has that one druid kid stopped practicing yet?
Nope, and he hasn't seemed to. At least he hasn't visibly shown that he's noticed you. However, if you want to, actually, feel free to give me a knowledge nature real quick.
Alright.
You druid, you and your nature knowledge. And you would pick up on like the fact, like just watching him for a little bit. He definitely seems the Sphinx seems to be in about his like 18 to maybe 20s.
Oh, okay.
He's rather young, but he is definitely casting some like 4th or 5th level spells.
Oh, wow. Alright, well, stand up and stretch and they kind of walk over. Excuse me.
And he was gearing up to lay down what you could only assume to be a fireball before. Hey, what? And like you see it just kind of fade in his hand. What's up?
Not much. I'm a visitor. I just wanted to ask a few questions.
Go for it.
What are you practicing for?
The game tomorrow.
Would this be that Save Princess game I've been seeing around, or?
He kind of holds up a little paw. Capture the princess. Capture the princess. I think they got the editing wrong on that flyer. Kind of shrugs.
Makes sense. So, can you tell me what's the objective of this game?
He kind of blinks once, twice.
I'm not
Capture.
from around here.
Yeah, and then he just kind of gives you this look of just like, I guess I'll explain this to you, as he kind of he responds, well, the objective is to capture the princess.
This is what an obvious question. Okay, here's a better question. How do you go about doing it? Like, what is the process of the game? What are the rules?
Yeah.
Like, I guess you're practicing for the game. I don't see how preparing like you're fighting a black dragon is the most help, other than for heavy combat spells.
And he takes the smallest little huffy breath before he gets a much nicer smile on his face. Like, he's probably had to explain this a decent amount of times. And he continues his explanation after your question. Well, the objective of the game is there are... Have you ever played Capture the Flag? Let me start with that.
A couple times, yes.
Like that, but with princesses. And there's a dragon on the field. There's 2 teams. That's the gist of it.
Is it a real dragon?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
I see. Anyway. Go on.
Well, there's a long list of rules. But one of the main ones, typically I'm the abjure on our team. But typically teams are arranged in with one teams of 8 with one person in each from each school. Very atypical for that not to happen, but it has happened. Kind of shrugs. Rules are pretty fluid. Are you going tomorrow?
Oh, likely. I most likely just watching.
Well,
if you don't,
rather, we're a little worried. One of our members decided that they probably can't come over tomorrow, and we're out of a sub.
oh really?
Yes.
Got
Out
it.
of character. What could this be?
Got it. Okay.
Oh
I've got it. Here's what we do. Each of us joins a different team.
Oh, no.
That way we
What?
If one of us wins, we all win.
exactly.
So, what's this I've heard of? Also, sorry, I believe I've heard there's talk about school teams.
Oh yes. There is a good many teams. Do you not know any of the ones on campus?
No, not really. I only just got here today.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. This is the point in the thing where I have to pull up my own notes here for a second.
Ooh.
Oof. Just saw it. There it is. All right, and he kind of starts pointing in the general directions of the buildings that you've seen, and he kind of points in the pointing over here to this central star building. This one right here. All right, they have a team right there. That's just technically the General School of Wizardry. Their team, and he kind of recollects, is called the Wildcats. Then there's the School of Music. They started their own team. Bards apparently are very competitive there. They started one called the Silver Bandoliers. Their whole thing is silver instruments and that and the likes of that. He kind of thinks a little bit more. A hospital up here. Hospital is they call themselves the White Angels. Kind of cliche if you ask me.
I agree.
And he kind of waves almost a dismissive hoof up to the this building down here, not up to down here. The alchemy building down there, they call themselves the Mad Scientists. I think it's rather a funny name if you ask me that. And then he kind of taps his chest. We are the Highland Hippies.
Not the most, I'm gonna be bluntly honest with you. Yeah, it's not the most impressive name.
I didn't choose it.
True.
And then he kind of like has like a little like thought almost. He's just like, oh, and of course I can't forget the Hags from Hell in the witchcraft building up here. I believe their coaches, I think, not Nestle, something like that.
Alright, apologies, but I must actually excuse this life is being annoying. But
Oh.
please continue without me.
Alrighty, little spout.
No.
I will assume
But
you
how
are
else will
just
we get
gathering flyers and things for this party, you know.
Alright, David. Good luck with your thing.
Yes, I will need it.
Alrighty, and then he just kind of he
So
nods.
that's a total of 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams.
6. So
Yep.
it was this one that didn't have a team members.
No, that's the bards.
Yep, those are the
Oh,
bards.
I thought these were the bards.
I think the alchemists didn't have a team.
No, the alchemists did. They were mad scientists.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So wait, is the flower or the cross the bards?
Cross of the bards. Flower is the metamagics.
Okay.
which is why they don't have a team.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, it's
Well.
just studies of metamagics and things like that. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think we'll be in town a few days. Why not? If you don't mind, I can watch you practice, and you can inform me on rules, and then I'll practice with you. I can be the sub if you would like me to.
Kind of looks you up and down. Do you have a student ID?
Give me a moment.
That should be a very worrying thing to say. If an actual student who cares about the rules. You have a student idea? Give me a moment.
Hey, Duck, I gotta reboot my.
Alright, Isdell.
I'll be back. In a
One of
second.
the other druids has gone missing for the day.
Wow.
Then in that case, we were going to rotate to Little Spout, but Little Spout's too busy getting flyers and stuff for this party. So, it is Star Dancer, Steady Shoot, and Candlelight's turn. Isdell is restarting his computer.
Steady Shoot goes over to the person who offered to take his blood. He looks down and he says, "Is it the only way to find out more?"
I mean, before the answer, and he gives
says,
you,
"Did Star Dancer do it?"
and he looks to Star Dancer, then he looks to you. Yes. And kind
I
of
look at Star Dancer.
What? What are you telling them? What?
He's offering my blood to learn more about my sorcerer's blood. I'm asking
I
if
mean,
I'm saying, did you take Star Dancer's blood?
and
As a way to say, do I trust this?
and Star Dancer,
are you saying this in character?
This is yeah,
Okay.
and Star Dancer from
all in character.
From behind Steady Shoot, as he's saying this, Mr. Cornelian Flask is just looking at you with this look that it's stoic, but you could tell he means, don't ruin this for me. Oh, did you guys get that, or did I cut out?
No, I'm
trying
I'm thinking of it. Why?
It is a moment of Star Dancer is literally allowed to say whatever she wants.
Well, first of all, if he's studying blood, taking my blood wouldn't do any good. However, I'm sure he has a sample of tornadoes pointing over at the Alicorn in the corner.
Yep.
My thing is
that. And I give him an eyebrow.
He stares you down equally as stoically.
Oh, I can't tell Jack.
So,
Assuming attended or near enough to tell what he's saying.
let me see really quick. Actually, I didn't see his bluff on here.
if it's not listed, it's just based on his charisma.
Yeah, I just
He has no ranks.
have to figure out where it would be on the. Where is it? It's really just
It's a stat block.
yeah.
I guess it's possible his natural, if he has negative charisma, his natural bluff is negative.
No, it's +0.
Oh.
Oh, well, I mean, he gives this stoic look, but he can't help but almost like kind of drift off to one of like the crooks of your hooves, and you just see him give this the tiniest little smirk almost.
Look, if you want to learn about bloodlines, he really is one of the best.
I am the best.
And so I turned back to says, you would tell him, you would recommend him. I don't know anything about my thing.
Well, I mean, I have him helping me with
I'm
my
sure you've
research.
seen it.
What was that?
I'm sure you've noticed. He said he's helping him with the weed. Meanwhile, I was trying to impressed that I'm sure he's noticed my thing that Steady Shoes is cagey about.
He definitely is taking notice of that. Yes.
Well, I mean, who is?
Cornelia.
I have no idea who's talking about who and about what
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to Star Dancer, who's saying, I'm sure you've noticed my thing, which I'm currently, which Steady Shoes is cagey about, because that seems like something he would do.
Okay, out of character, I'm actually not sure exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. So basically, every time he rages, he gets bark skin, and in some cases grows vines.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's something that's pretty easy to notice.
Oh, yeah,
When I rage,
Okay.
I turn into a plant.
That thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's not common, but not unheard of. I'm sure we could look up someone else that has a similar thing.
Honestly, I don't know what stations are in front of it, but it is something that is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to learn, hey, where did my bloodline actually come from? Yeah, you probably want to talk to this guy.
Star Dancer, as you're having this conversation, you just start to slowly feel a hand kind of start fluffing up your wings.
Feeling up.
And I was expecting it.
Someone's feeling up, Star Dancer.
I was expecting it. It's not like it hasn't happened before.
No, it has never happened before. You've never had wings before.
Well, yes.
And you just
I mean,
That is
maybe you
kind of-
have had
you hear this voice
Shivers violently. Oh man, that feels really weird.
and
It's way different than magic wings.
you hear this small laugh, and she turns the person behind you turns her head and she looks toward Candlelight, who seems to be like looking almost like he was going to warn you about about Miss Blitz just sneaking up behind you, and she speaks to him. What? She's fluffy, and Candlelight just kind of like blinks his eyes a couple times. Oh boy, Little Spout's gonna have fun with this one.
Where has she gone anyway?
He kind of thinks, okay, if I was Little Spout, where would my wife be? Kind of closes his eyes. Alright, she went off that way, that circly nature-y thing.
I just keep track of
And he kind of holds up a hoof. Oi! I don't need any sass from you.
that.
You don't even have a wife.
Oof. And he scowls just a little bit and then looks like kind of rolls his eyes upward into closing them and just kind of thinks, think. There's a game going on.
Probably
Maybe.
anywhere where there's love going on. Let's check behind the
And well, he kind of oh my god.
Really?
And
Wow.
and he kind of opens his eyes. Oi, you don't think my wife's
Did you just accuse one of our other players of being promiscuous?
No. I meant she just happens to find them all the time. It's not the first time she just stumbles upon stuff like that.
and he kind of blinks his eyes and frowns back a little bit. I was going to say she's probably getting us tickets.
I think she wants a bit more than just tickets.
And you see him frown again. She's my wife.
No, I meant.
Participate in the game.
And he kind of thinks, wait, yeah, that would be something she would try to do.
I'm not trying to insinuate anything.
Simply trying to state that you're totally wrong.
And Nontly at this point kind of speaks up, who is already partially out the way into the hallway. Are y'all gonna get that poked on or something? Big Mama gotta go upstairs. We gotta get back to my brew before it overcooks.
Yes, yes, we'll be right behind you. I just need to check on these crystals real quick, and then we'll be out.
Gonna-
Because Star gets back up and goes check over the crystals.
And Carnelian looks up to you, Steady Shoot. Come on now. Just a little poke. You've had worse.
I can try it, I guess.
And
As long as Star Dancer says it's alright, Star Dancer's reasonably proven to be trustworthy.
and you know that
Even though we didn't know where she came from and she suddenly showed up, we just decided to sort of let her come along.
and you know
Hey,
that
how do you think I feel?
you know
You
that
just showed up out of nowhere. Well, it was...
do you
While you were busy stealing from an important person that we were stealing from,
I was not taking anything.
well, neither were we. Technically.
well, do you guys know that that Grinch face, like when he gets a terribly awful idea?
Oh god.
That's currently Carnelian's face as Steady Shoot. You kind of feel a little boing as he inserts the needle right in the crook of pretty much like your elbow on your hoof, and he just starts pulling back slowly, and slowly the the syringe starts to fill up with blood. He kind of pulls it out, and I mean it is a lab. He kind of takes out a small bit, some small bits of like gauze and tissues and that kind of thing, and kind of hands it to you. All right, hold it on there.
Alright, I do the thing.
And as he does, he kind of turns around, he gets some wraps, and then he finishes wrapping it up as you kind of hold it on the thing. There, now you won't bleed out.
Good.
And he puts the little...
He died once.
Ooh, interesting. And he kind of rolls his eyes, like, very sarcastically. As he says, interesting.
Mhm.
And putting the cap on the
Gotcha,
needle...
low empathy doctor, gotcha.
and kind of putting the cap on the syringe and putting it in his bag, he kind of heads off. Right. I'll be off to my studies. Might as well get in this elevator and get it over with. And you guys start. If you guys are following Notley and the others, they are walking toward the elevator.
Okay.
Right, well I'm following. This
Star
has
Dancer's
got my blood.
Star Dancer's doing a couple other things with crystals, you know. And
Checking one real quick. See what happened to them as part of the experiment.
and you guys all start getting, at least the people who are going right away, like start kind of getting into the elevator. And it opened up a little bit when you guys had previously come down, but it was only like you guys. With more and more of you kind of packed in, it seems to kind of almost reach its outer limit. And Carnelian is just in the corner saying, like, just kind of mumbling to himself, I knew this was gonna be terrible.
Oh, is Steady giving us time? What would I roll for that? Is that charisma to resist it or willpower? Charisma to be snide or willpower to resist it?
Up to you, I guess.
Roll a
No,
d2.
He resists being snide.
Aw.
Would you
That's
like
no
me to
fun.
be snide? I can be snide. I'm like feeling crowded.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, you know, it is the guy trying to help you.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rum. The rum is affecting my role
Kind
And-
of does that.
play.
And eventually the top floor is reached. Ding! The door opens. And Carnelian is the first to try to shove his way out. He's pushing, he's shoving. And all the while, Blitz is like cuddled up right next to Star Dancer, just kind of still fluffing her wings, and just having this big smile on her face. See, now I have a reason to touch these, and you can't stop me.
Yes, yes.
What are y'all doing?
Just quietly following along.
Okay, Mr. Quiet. Well, Isdell, from the distance, you just notice. You notice a trail of water.
I just sigh very audibly.
There's what seems to be like a college age, like, I guess custodian you might call it, kind of like following these trails of water, just snapping their fingers, and you could tell it's prestidigitation as he's kind of trying the thing, kind of mumbling to himself.
I walk up to him and say, was it your little one that did this?
I think so. And snap, snap. She's really fast.
Guys, I found those dogs.
Meanwhile, we will go to Darkfire. Spend some time on this.
We're now attempting to find.
Yes. Darkfire?
Fire in the dark.
Johnny boy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, Darkfire is apparently too consumed in watching this Sphinx practice and everything like that. Well, where are you guys going then? Guys,
What?
where y'all
Alright.
go? Yeah.
I don't know. My character is now invested in this research his blood. Because he is plant pony.
Wait.
Plantness.
Yes. This is true.
I mean, I'm going to be following Huntley back to the dorms, or looking for them. I guess gathering them on the way to the dorms.
Yep. Well, Notley herself is still kind of bustling along. She's going toward the craft building, specifically, rather than like a specific dorm. But she's kind of hurrying along, so you kind of have to like sprint along, like to keep up. And you kind of hear her muttering to herself, "Oh boy, I only got a couple more minutes. Couple more minutes, and it's gonna burn."
Okay, yep, just following along behind her, expecting the others to go grab, because I know I can't get into the druid circle, so might as well do things rather than wait for him to walk out.
Ring Dancer's looking to and fro. Oh my gosh. I thought you guys were against splitting the party. And Candlelight kind of nods along. Mm-hmm. True. Alright, well move your respective characters, but you'll be going. That way I know where you're going.
I'm just kind of following.
Well, where is Steady Sheet being taken to?
Oh, Steady Shoot, if he's following Carnelian, is being taken down to the alchemy labs.
Yeah, I'm probably following Cornelius. Steady Shoot has no answer for his blood. Sorry, I feel like I've sprung this on you. I should have probably said something.
Oh, you're good.
Last week to be like, hey, I totally want to follow up for character-related stuff that I haven't planned for at all, and it's all on you.
I mean, this is up to you. This is y'all's adventure, not mine.
Yeah. But I mean, I could have given you more warning, so now I'm stuck with whatever you come up with at the last second, instead of like anything you count for.
Try me.
I mean, it's gonna be good, man.
I got you.
All right.
Well, if you are moving with him, Steady Shoot, going down to this building.
Okay. Which building? Indicate again.
The alchemy.
There we go. All right. Steady Shoot is ready. Shoot.
All right, give me 1 second. Meanwhile, you are following. Notley, start answer. Isdell, where are you going?
I'm following. What did you say?
She went with Notley to the witchcraft area.
I was just following. Because, yeah. Isabel just wants to get out of here.
Alrighty. Well, Ring Dancer in that case will kind of stump along with you itself. Meanwhile, Candlelight kind of goes off with. No, Candlelight is actually over here. Have to be in the hotel. Ah, never mind. Candlelight. I forgot things.
Stop doing that. I don't know.
I mean,
You know, this is why I lost his token. Well, steady shoot. Carnelian doesn't talk to you the entire way there. In fact, like
Great.
half the time he just kind of like looks back, gives you this really stoic look, stops for a moment, and then just keeps on walking. All the way up until you guys are at the alchemy building. And
That's not super.
and kind of stopping at the building. He stops and gets this little smirk on his face and almost looks pensive. And he's like, no, don't think I'm at the door.
What's going on?
Smirking. Oh, I was just trying to fit the act. Being rather clueless, I might as well try to play along.
What?
Nothing. And he continues walking on. And eventually he goes into that crook of the building where like it makes the V, and kind of pushes open the door. And immediately the sense that you get are mixes of, okay, like if you've ever walked into a perfume shop, that's the initial impression. Not the perfume department, that kind of thing, yeah.
Smell.
Yeah, there's a lot of smells. And as he opens the door, you see this little toad start like hopping through there, and the Sphinx chasing after it, and kind of like almost pushes past Carnelian. And he's kind of taken by surprise by this, kind of gets knocked back 1 or 2 feet. And he just looks back. Oi! Turn him back! And the Sphinx catches up to the frog and takes him, and he's like, "Aw, look, he's so cute. I said turn him back." Kind of the student kind of rolls his eyes and takes out like a small vial, puts it on top of the frog's head essentially, and from where there was a frog is transforming now a full Sphinx, who is now coughing and saying, "Oh my God, those flies were disgusting." He kind of shakes his head and like looks toward Steady Shoot, or looks toward G Steady Shoot, and just assumes a more stern tone than he's already had. You see how much nonsense goes around in here. I do not expect you to cause any more. Do you understand me?
Can't. I'm sorry.
What was
I'm physically emoting. If I'm physically emoting, I'm giving him this giving look. Like,
He returns it right back. I'm waiting for your answer.
really?
And both of his eyebrows kind of go up. Am I not a professor here?
I don't know.
He kind of squints his eyes, add that to the list, and then turns around and starts walking in.
Am I not a professor? I'm not sure.
And I take it you're just following him into the building then?
Yes. I was
Yeah.
Was he referred to as professor beforehand?
He was not. It was more like he
Yeah.
was assuming you knew, and then when you said you don't know, he just said add that to the list.
Yeah, I noticed.
But he is walking forward, And it, like, I mean, you could kind of assume if he had a cape on, it would like swoosh behind him like very angrily, but he doesn't have a cape on. So that's what kind of turn it is. It's like a whoosh, and yeah, you know.
I don't know. I like my response to that. Am I not a professor? Are you?
Well, following him into the building, you don't notice any more frogs. However, as you pass various rooms, all of them seem to have like different, like knockers, effectively on like their old style. It's their old style doors. They all have knockers on them that correspond.
Have pretty cockers.
Well, and all the knockers look like the different shapes of the building that you different shapes of the buildings that you see there on campus.
I feel like a 12-year-old. All these impressive knockers like that.
You're good. You're good.
Wow.
I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm so sorry.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I started this all.
I'm so sorry. All right. We continue. Everything is very decorative and very specific.
yes. So he takes you down several different corridors, and upon like each one of them, like there's multiple floors to this place. There's the first floor itself is what you've seen so far with all like the different things like that, and they all have different room numbers on them, as well as like a list of classes labeled under each door. These seem to effectively be like the 101 classes, and as you go up a floor, like the 200 level classes. And then the last floor is like the 300 and 400 level classes that you would find in a college. And he takes you all the way up to the 4th floor.
Sure.
And as you're going up, the staircases themselves are in each, like, you see how it's like a V? There's the staircases are at like each ends of those, so you kind of have to like zigzag through this whole place to get to the top. And his
Really cumbersome.
and his office is at the very top, at the very end. And it definitely looks really like a really old door. And
He must be important if he has the hardest to reach room. Or the least important. One of those two, depending on how the university works.
And kind of like emblazoned in an arcane mark upon his door, you see the words, "Stay out unless you have an actual question that can't be answered by any of the other staff."
Time to ask him.
And he
Only ask him a few questions.
and he opens the doors, and I mean the immediate impression you get, Steady Shoot, is that this is a dungeon. like there's a couple chains actually hanging from the ceiling. I mean there's no skeletons or anything like that, or people actually chained up. There's just a couple chains. There's like a kind of a lab. There's almost what looks to be like a surgery table at one side that's like illuminated by like one torch. With a couple potion bottles upon it that look very viscous and red. And he kind of leads you over and kind of gestures to a seat. And there is one lonely seat in there in a very rickety chair. It looks like it's
This is gonna break my trust in what's her name?
he kind of gestures.
This is going to affect my relationship with Star Dancers.
Well, I sure hope not.
Let's see.
And he kind of gestures right over there to like the biggest rickety chair that he has. That one will be good for you. Not like I have any
Yeah,
others.
it's definitely got to be the biggest one.
And it looks like it's about to fall over in its own regard.
Awesome.
And he kind of goes over to that surgery table looking station, and gives it a nice like flow of air. You just see all this dust like off the top. Been a while since picks up all the bottles and starts putting them away and like cleaning it off and things like that. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yes.
Oh, I'm putting my dubious in the doctor and sit down on the table.
And blinks and he's like, "Oh, at least you know something. Didn't even have to ask you for this one." And he leans down below the table.
Oh, you just like grumble.
No, I
It
heard
was
the.
under. It was. Oh, okay, okay. I'm like, oh, was my grumble underneath the threshold?
No, I got it. And
Okay.
as you're grumbling, he kind of from underneath the table pulls like connected to the table. In fact, just to the sides of the table, he pulls out what looks to be like a leather strap and starts like strapping you down effectively. And like,
Okay.
and he goes over to well, all but one hoof and your neck for now. As he goes over to his table and pulls out of his desk and what seems to be the most well-used drawer, like a flyer, and he kind of brings it over to you with like a little pen, and says, "All right, sign here, here, and here."
I don't read it.
Now you can't blame me.
Oh, I absolutely can.
And he gives this little dubious smirk.
But the thing is that he can't blame me. If this case, I wreck his equipment, which, like, if things are going the way I think they are, I'm probably gonna destroy his equipment.
Well,
He's probably used to it.
Because my blood doesn't work unless I'm angry.
I mean, the bloodline still exists.
The what?
I said your bloodline still exists.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure he's gonna push me over the edge. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, I'm watching. This is interesting.
well, yeah. Well, the fact that you literally told Nontley in front of him that you hit things with axes, and like, I mean, you're giving him a sample of blood. He could only assume. And with that small cliffhanger, we go up to Star Dancer, Isdell, Ring Dancer, and Nontley.
Get
Yes.
someone else.
And as you guys are walking,
At this point, I am Star Dancer. Where are we going exactly? But only at this point.
Yeah, but only at this point. The Witches College?
darn tootin' we are.
Oh, right. I should get you a map.
That would be.
And there is plenty of those like little plastic containers around campus with actual campus maps, because it seems to be around the time when new freshmen are coming into here. You just pick one up, and it would be like the same overview as you're getting now on the map.
Yep, there you go.
Discuss and
The only
make a note to start like redoing it later.
The only thing that you don't notice on this map, Isdell, is that this area right here in the illusion building, like that inner circle, the whole building itself is marked to look the same as what was I gonna say? This building right here. Like they look exactly the same on the map. Like it won't note this inner circle, that inner circle on the other one.
Okay. That sounds good to me. But Isdell is just kind of eyeing it in disgust at how little detail there is in this game.
That's fair. You will notice several things, like several actual labels on the map. And let me pull up my own map here for reference, just so I can make sure I'm telling you the right things
I
here.
have memorized all this stuff. You're seriously,
Oh my god, there's so many pins. Okay, so this one over here, this section of the map over here, is labeled Clorenson Apartments. This one over here, just to the left, is Dragon View Heights, and this one over here is called Reverb Valley, over by the docks. And other than anything else that Star Dancer is really labeled to you at this point is also labeled on this map, like all the different school buildings and things like that. There's also a general guide, not labeled, but there is like numbers on the map that correspond to different things for over here. That seems to be like a campus kind of commercial area. Yeah. That being said, however, Notley just kind of leads you over to this building, and she kind of the outer wall looks completely made of brick, pretty much. And she kind of goes up to it, puts her ear to it. Gives it a couple knocks, then like goes down like 3 or 4 bricks. Gives the next one a couple knocks, and then she kind of thinks for a moment. If I remember, oh my gosh, the infrastructure people just made me change my password. Hang on, I gotta remember this. And then she kind of
Downgrade their, did they downgrade their connection
I'm glad you asked.
did they downgrade the connection to not Ethernet, from Ethernet?
No,
E-
you see.
No,
you see,
it's
schools know what's going on.
no. You guys don't understand. It's actually Ethernet. Like
Oh god, that's terrible.
Actual Ether.
the actual ether.
Of course.
No,
Of
but
course.
Fired. I quit.
no, but she just kind of thinks for a moment. All right, what was it? This one right here. Knock, knock, knock. She waits for a second, and you see this little brick kind of thunk her in the face as it kind of pops out. She's just like, damn it, got it wrong. And she tries again, and she does the brick right next to it before it just starts opening. Like, kind of, you've seen Harry Potter, like Diagon Alley style, just kind of like opening up. And, it reveals the inner part of the school, and as it starts opening up, you guys notice a sphinx chasing a frog out of the way, like out of this, out of the opening. And Notley just kind of looks down. Darling, you made some good stuff. And the sphinx looks up. Thank you, miss. And just lets him continue chasing the frog.
Let's really hope that's not a snake in disguise.
Well, I mean, it is the witch school, so.
And Notley leads you guys in, and you immediately you guys notice that she herself is met by like a lot of students saying like, "Oh my God, it's Professor Notley," and they're just like, you know, they're waving to her, and she's waving back and giving stern nods to some others.
Those are the trouble.
And Notley looks back to you, Isdell. They are what you call problems. And she
Isdell
leads.
quietly just looks away to
I mean, fair, but like she leads you guys into one of the other points of the inner star. The trek is not as big as Steady Shoots was, that's for sure. She kind of goes. She takes you guys along the first floor, and as she's kind of going along, she's just like, "Oh, I'm glad they got my office down here on the first floor finally. I hated going up those stairs every damn day." And eventually,
No, tell me about it.
she gets to the center of the building, essentially. Like, all of these stars are hallways in their own regard. However, at the center of the building, it's more circular and open, and in the middle is a giant, what looks like black kettle. There's a professor, like, on a scaffolding right over it that seems to be tossing in a few things that are making, like, giant poofs out of the center. And as soon as like the poofs are made, you can hear like it's far enough that you can't understand what she's saying. You just know she's talking. But the professor continues her lecture, and a second later, like 15 or 17-ish like freshmen and freshman-looking sphinxes just start vigorously taking notes. And it's notable that like all of them do have funny-looking hats of many different shapes, and all their ears poke out of them. No.
The hat is very important.
It's all very important.
And
These are witches. It's still very.
and she kind of gives a little giggle, and then keeps walking. Ooh, we got some more freshies in. Ooh, they're gonna be fun. I gotta give them big teas. She kind of nods. But we best hurry on. I'm almost late. And she turns left down like around the pot into one of the buildings around the side of it, and it is a rather larger door. And funnily enough, like the outside edges of the door seem to be like kind of smashed inward almost. And, like it doesn't meet the door itself, so you can kind of see what's in the room through the sides. Yeah, she kind of pushes the door open. All right, all right. Now she does. You notice her hips kind of brush along the side where the door is smashed outward. Are you all following in? I just want to make sure.
No.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm not there, so I can't.
You are strapped to a table currently.
That's right. That I'm going to destroy. We'll see. We'll see.
And Notley leads you in, and what's immediately apparent is that there is a very, very, very flowery smell in this room, and in the center of her office is a giant. Well, it's not giant. I mean, it's a normal-sized kettle for what you'd expect for a brew. But it is brewing away, bubbling, and it's illuminating the whole room in this pinkish light. And she kind of gives like a little clap as you guys walk in. Ooh! Oh, it's done! It's done! And she kind of quickly goes to grab what look like really oven mitts that are in the shapes of hearts, and she just like kind of picks it up. Ooh! Ow! Ooh! Ooh! Kind of sets it down on like a hot plate, and gives like a little. She puts her claws like up to her chin. Oh, I've been baking this forever.
What is it?
She kind of looks over. Honey, you ever wanted to fall in love?
Art antics.
Are you still on that?
She kind of
You
nods.
know I'm not gonna take any of that.
Oh, you don't have to take it. One of the students around here decided they wanted me to make some, so I thought I'd help them out.
Is this a love time?
Starface moves.
And she kind of raises an eyebrow. Nah, it's a love potion, silly.
Or whatever it is, yeah. Sorry.
And
Are those illegal?
and she kind of leans in. Well, I'm not supposed to say anything, but as you're not from this college, one of the team members of the other teams, they wanted me to make this for, I don't know who. I decided that, you know, they play a mighty fine sport, so I thought I'd give them some, you know.
That's cheap.
Well, so
No, that's called this sport. Now you know why I don't play it.
Flexible around.
Jesus.
That sounds like me.
And she kind of gives a sterner look outward. She's like, "Oh, she wasn't using it on another teammate, darling. She just had a crush on campus, or off campus. On campus, I'm not sure. She's very discreet about it."
Izzo just looks disappointed.
Nah, she looks over to you, start answer. Well, I know your friend went off to that. I don't want to call him a hard ass, but he kind of is. You went over there with him. Do you kind of nudges you? Did you need some for the road? I see. Yeah, like I said, you got yourself a man.
First of all, no. Second of all,
Tail now?
I think that would hurt a bit, and no.
Wait, what? I missed that, but I got part of it, and I just wanted to make sure I understood what you said.
I said I think that would hurt a bit, and no.
Oh my god.
I'm done.
That would hurt. Oof.
Oh boy.
Well, she cut.
We have enough of this with those other two. We don't need a second step.
Hey, Doc.
And also, no.
Doc, you're gonna get demonetized after this.
I was never monetizing it to begin with. It was marked as 18 plus. I didn't expect it to be monetized in the first place. No, but Notley just kind of like raises an eye. Yo, lost. Well, I better get this prepared for her. And you see Notley kind of turn around and she picks up off her desk like a small photograph. However, just casually looking at it, you guys wouldn't be able to see what it is unless, you know, you roll those perception checks.
Perception.
And Darkfire's not here to save you.
I put rings in the perception label.
Oh.
After that, Star kind of is not really angry, but just kind of that I don't want to talk to you right now. grabs Blitz, tracks her over the corner, and says, "Pet me."
And she's like, ooh, okay. And she just like takes you, and she pulls you back, and just starts petting and hugging and being generally cute. Because
Continue.
that's how she is. Isdell, from the side, as she picks up the picture and what looks to be like a couple pinkish hairs, you do realize that is the picture of the same photo that Steady Shoot has.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, like that photo.
Don't ask me. This is news to me too.
Wait. Same picture of station. Elaborate.
The one that you guys saw in the cave.
The what's it called? The girl with the. That's right. She said that she was on teams. The girl that had been stalking Station was on the what's it called team.
Wait, the one that's stalking Steady Shoot?
The one that is
no.
dead and is currently in the magic prison.
So I recognize this one.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the picture.
I'm just
Which is-
like, is this who it's for? To give to someone else?
Yeah, she kind of looks at the picture. Oh, of course. She's asked me for like 4 or 5 this week.
Dead.
Wait, this week? That's not possible.
Kind of tilts her head. I am not.
Star's over in the corner. You talked to Ring Dancer. I guess is the only other one there.
Yeah. And Ring Dancer's just like, she seems almost as clueless as you are. I don't know.
Well, we met her quite a ways away, and she said she wasn't returning for a while.
Pretty sure she didn't say anything.
Yeah, you guys haven't met her. Like,
I'm
physically.
lying.
Yeah, I figured.
Do I need to roll a bluff check for this?
You could roll a history check really quick for me.
A history. Knowledge history. I have a rank in that now. Holy shit.
This is just one of those things I'd let you roll in train since I'm just pretty much recalling events for you. Yeah. So, like, this is just that person that kind of snuck in the night that Beautiful told you about during that cave that slipped a love potion. Yeah, like a love potion. Yeah. So, like, just slipped a love potion in and kind of seemed to dimensionally slide away.
And then we found her in the soul prison.
Yep.
Well,
Anyway,
I
but
worded like she's not dead, right?
Yeah. I think he knew this. He's just lying about.
I know. I'm legitimately just lying about it right now.
Yay.
Because I don't want to.
Alarm.
You don't tell people that you've seen someone in the soul prison. That's alarming.
Well, Notley would just kind of shrug it off and just be like, oh, well, you guys are free to join me. I'm about to go deliver these to her right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, let's see where we're going. This is something Steady Shoot probably should have been around for, but well,
Yeah.
Table.
he's strapped to a table, so here we go.
He's participating in extracurricular activities.
Well, Notley would take,
Sure,
like,
why not?
Notley would kind of, what seems to, like, kind of, like, bag up, like, 1, 2, 3 bottles of this before the bottom of the kettle was met.
God. Maybe if we're lucky, she has a bunch of food. I don't know if that's luck, but
And she kind of just starts whistling. A little Tweety, because hippogriff. And she starts walking back out of the thing. It takes her a moment to kind of find her way out again. Now she's kind of looking around for the right door. She's like, they keep rotating this building on me, I swear. And eventually she finds her way out.
I mean, there is a spellcaster building, probably.
It's not the transmutation building. They have no right to rotate this building on me. It's firm on that stance.
We'll track them back. Just do something to their building. Problem solved.
She looks at the love potion. I'll hold you to that. And she's walking.
Oh no! They're gonna have a bad water supply.
Oh no.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
love potions in the water supply.
What
Oh,
did
no!
this do?
Oh
The problem is the love potions are all
Someone's about to get fucked up.
her or steady shoot.
no. Well, she is leading you guys, if you guys can see this ruler, this way.
I'm sorry, yeah. I could.
It's not an army of people all in love with each other. It's an army of people all in love with the girl whose name I don't think you know.
Yeah.
Or steady shoot.
Well, it doesn't have to be. She can make different ones.
I know, but most likely the potion was made for specifically those people.
And she's just kind of ring dancer's following along. If you guys are following her, she's going over here.
Are you coming with Star Dancer?
Yeah, Star's calmed down by this point.
You just get a message of the stalker ordered these potions. But the stalker was supposed to be dead.
Raised eyebrow.
But the stalker was in the soul prison. These are all messages, like these aren't out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Notley leads you over into, make sure I got the name of this right, Dragon View Heights, to one of these outer buildings right here that Ring Dancer's looking at, and just kind of casually knocks on the door. Knock, 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 knock. Miss Ivory! Miss Ivory! A couple seconds later, she kind of backs up a little bit.
No.
And as she does, the door doesn't swing open, but it's almost as if she's kind of stepping through a small crack in reality right before you.
Oh, I was thinking of the door like something accidental crack.
Just an accidental crack. And no,
Well, like the door's been unlocked for a week and somehow it's all right, but no.
well, no, and like a small crack similar to how you've seen Star Dancer kind of, well, Star Dancer, you're there. Like how you dimensional slide is the same thing as this, and you kind of just. And that exact pony that you guys had seen in that photo is standing before you. Oh, hi, Nutley! Hi! And Nutley kind of waves. Oh, hi, darling. It's always nice to see you. And they exchange hugs, and she looks around. Oh, you brought friends! And she almost kind of like doesn't meet eyes for a second, and then she kind of goes around. Gosh, you guys look like you've been through a lot. She starts going around. Hug, 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 hug.
Have we met each other before?
Don't believe so.
What about with what's her name?
What?
You, yeah, you.
No, I see what that is.
You met this person.
I don't know. Have I?
No.
I don't think so. I have seen the photo that Steady Shoot had though.
Right.
Star
and
Dancer.
claim that-
Feel
Wait,
free
do
to
we
give
know
me.
do we know what the stalker's name was? The one that was in the picture?
You do not. However, Star Dancer, feel free to give me a history check really quick.
Ow. Where's my Skittles?
And yeah, you very clearly, from last session actually, there was a couple of the teenagers out in the main part of town that were saying there was a new addition to the team, one of the teams. And they were
Right.
pointing, yep, they were pointing out this specific one.
Right, and you're saying I did remember. I guess I'm not there, so I.
No, you're
Something.
not here.
Yeah, this isn't something that Darkfire there?
Nope, he's still with the druids for some reason.
Nope, nope. So
Yeah.
neither of the people who might have been like, wait, I think this is a mistake, are there to be like, wait, what's going on?
I mean, Isdal's here.
Oh, is still the one?
I was in the
Soul
soul prison. Yeah.
Okay, so then do you remember seeing her in Soul Prison? Because I
Yes.
think you said she
Oh,
was
yeah.
there.
You definitely saw it in there.
Okay.
And this pony starts
I'm just
kind of.
making note of what I'm making. I'm like in my mind creating a map because I'm a map maker. That's what I do. Of just I hope to get back here so we can talk to her later.
Right.
Right.
And Isdil is the kind of person who would keep this under wraps, whereas Steady Shoot would probably say something.
Head wraps, literally.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But
Exactly.
no, she kind of starts going like hugs, you know, each one of you, including Notley.
Sense motive, she was kind of hesitating at first.
Oh,
On,
I forgot sense motive is a thing.
What a sense motive? Sense motive on what part of her speech?
No, just does she seem genuine?
I mean, she seems genuinely happy to see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just.
What
Yeah,
way does she
bye.
seem happy to see us? Like in a oh you're okay way or a oh
Like a very friendly way. She's just giving you guys hugs and is really happy that Notley, like, you know, is here. They seem to be good friends.
Was she lying during that?
You can give me a sense motive.
I need your help.
I mean, she didn't
I-
seem like she was lying. Like,
I have all of a +5. Don't look at me.
I have a minus one.
welcome to Duck's World. No, but
I'm still alive.
yeah, hi. We tried rotating over to you, Darkfire, but you were like sleeping. I
There we
think.
go.
Yeah. I was a long
Was she lying about knowing this? Because she looks familiar.
She does look familiar. However, she doesn't seem to be lying about, you know, just generally wanting to be your friend and like meet you essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, she is not. Well, the thing is,
What
You're not here.
I guess it really depends on
when
what question.
or has her soul been replaced temporarily? That's the real question.
Well, Darkfire, we will go to you with that little cliffhanger right there. Before we go
Oh
to.
my gosh.
So, what?
I'll be back in a second then.
All right. So, what are you doing, Darkfire?
I'm kind of muttering to myself because I forgot the fact that this is a stupid school and that they would probably need a student ID for me to partake in anything fun.
Oh my god.
So I'm in search of Star Dancer to see about getting one of those temporarily to do this.
Well, you
Oh,
don't.
good. That's a way to get you out of the druid circle that we can't follow you in.
And if you're going,
I have my place of solitude
and if you're looking for Star Dancer, you wouldn't immediately find her. However, you do see a what looks to be like a custodial pony just prestidigitizing a trail of water around the general, like up to the druid circle's like barrier pretty much, and you just see him snapping. And he just looks increasingly mad, like every time he snaps and prestidigitizing the water away. And yes, he is a Sphinx, so that's how he's snapping. Yeah. That is the first Sphinx that you do find outside of the circle rather than Star Dancer.
Alright. Well, you know, I was homeschooled, I don't know their rules. I'm gonna shapeshift.
Into?
Making a decision. Flies. I'll just go with an eagle again.
Alright.
Weren't you there for the talking about the rules about flying?
Actually, no, I wasn't, I think.
No, you weren't, because you went in first, and Little Spout went in after, and then had a tantrum that she couldn't fly.
So, I'm outside of it, and I start gaining altitude. I take off to start gaining altitude. And
Well,
looking for Star Dancer and company.
Give me a perception check first.
Okay.
Well, you do notice a general group, and one of those groups looks like Star Dancer and Ring Dancer and Isdell in the distance. Over here. However, as you're kind of like looking over in their area, you do hear this like little whistle behind you, like an actual physical like sports kind of whistle-ish thing. A sphinx wearing like a blue and like a navy blue and yellow tunic that has the word security on it, just kind of is flying up next to you. Oi!
I rotate towards him. Yes?
No flying in this area!
Why?
They just kind of give you a stern look. it's the rules around here, sir.
Ah, I see. My apologies. And I immediately go into a dive towards the ground.
Very nice. Keep it at head level if you're gonna fly, and they kind of stand next to you. Don't let it happen again, or I'll have to ticket you.
I see. Alright, I turn back to normal and I begin heading in that direction.
And more from Little Spout's experience, the only reason they don't have have that flying law in place is so people don't run into the druid barrier flying.
Too bad she's not here to notice.
Very nice. And if you are walking in that direction, we will go over to steady shoot.
Hey, steady
I-
shoot time.
I steady shoot.
Hi. Steady shoot is strapped to a table and getting his permit on.
Yes, so you are strapped to the table, and Mr. Doctor Dude goes over like 3 or 4 times the straps, making sure that both your neck, all your hooves, your entire torso, everything that he can strap down, he has made sure it is strapped down tight. And you see him kind of go into like a small, almost unused cupboard in this room, and kind of like in the dark almost. And he brings back a small vial and just starts rubbing it along the actual straps. The straps themselves, and they seem to shine almost a little bit,
Sure.
and kind of tighten around your bodies ever so slightly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna be snapping these straps. But that doesn't mean that the chair isn't gonna collapse. We'll see.
And he finishes putting it on, and he turns around just for half a moment as if he's going to pick up papers, and then immediately turns around and strikes a hoof directly into your nose.
Steady shoot actually has more than that. He makes a face.
And he kind of gives a little smirk. What's that? Is that the best you've got?
What?
I said, is that slap the best slap you got? Slap.
What is this?
And he's just like, oh, it's just an experiment, you know, that's just how it goes, right? And he kind of he looks down your body and then strikes you like right into the solar plexus.
Are these doing damage? Should I be removing hit points?
I mean, they do D3s of damage. What's your DR? Like,
I think my DR is 1 or 2 at the moment. Hold on, let me check my let me check the class actually. Probably don't have it in that part. At this point, it's 2. Yes. So occasionally he will do 1 damage.
yeah. I mean, if anything, he's like with his 1 damages. I mean, he might give you like a bloody nose, like from that first real like big one.
Right. Well, I mean, if he has any strength bonus, then he might do more damage.
+1. So, but yeah, he keeps on doing his thing, and he kind of just he thinks for a moment.
Right, I kind of do this thing like I'm glaring at him but not raging. That's what he's trying to do to me.
And he thinks for a minute. Oh, much tougher than this. All right. So you wouldn't mind if I take out one of these then? And he kind of holds up a small vial that kind of looks it's roundish and looks the general shape of it looks like a bomb. And he
Why
kind
are you doing this?
you sign the waiver.
What studies? Yeah, it's 10. It's not 10.
He just kind of shrugs. You sign the waiver. You're the one who followed me here to get experiments done. I'm just having fun. Don't tell me you're scared of this little thing. And he kind of sets it. He sets it on one of the straps around your torso.
Like, no. That's
Alright.
not what I'm scared of.
What are you scared of then? And he kind of he turns around as he's talking and kind of pulls out what looks to be a small lighter almost.
What are you doing? What
Nothing.
do you want?
Nothing at all. And as he's kind of saying this, he unstoppers the bottle. He kind of withdraws a small string from his pouch, a wick more like, sticks it in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And see him just kind of casually, and the thing starts sparking down in the bush, and he steps back a good exact 20 feet as this happens, and he's just kind of casually waving over there, and then once it reaches the actual part of the potion, you hear this loud cacophonous boom, and feel an explosion around you, on your body actually, and
What's going on? I missed it. You kind of trailed off. What's up?
oh, I just have to roll something for you first before I say that thing.
Okay.
I don't know what he's trying to do.
And you
I
take
mean, I suspect I know what he's trying to do. What
you
the
take
problem is.
16 points of fire damage as that liquid kind of like over your body and burns a little bit. And he's just like, you feel that burn?
I start to scream and then I do this like.
And he kind of you see him take out this little notepad on his desk that he was next to, and he kind of strikes out a couple notes on it before standing back up. Oh, come on, you can take it. And he comes over right next to you, and he presses his hoof into one of the burns. Oh, does this burn? And
Oh, I see where steady sheet is. Now that is slightly worrying.
Right. Let's see what's going on here.
and he looks into one of his drawers again, and pulls out another one of them. He's just like, "You gonna make me do another? Whoa, you're really gearing me."
What?
You signed the waiver, sir. And he has this vicious
Blame
grin on the.
yourself.
He has this vicious grin on his face, as if he's having a lot of fun doing this.
Yourself.
I don't have to explain anything, as he kind of sets the second one right on here, right on your chest, and then he kind of decides you go either here or here, kind of trailing it up your body over here, and he kind of sets it right below your chin, or right here. Ooh, that'd be a good place.
Glaring at him, but I'm not doing it.
Well, as you're glaring at him, he pulls out another wick, kind of flicks the lighter open. He's clearly just humming and being exceptionally annoying. And he sticks it in the stopper, and then lights it. Kind of walks backward, not even looking at it, until he hears the. You feel another considerable amount of searing pain now coming from like your neck downward. Take another.
Oh, exactly 6 again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I fall Suddenly, Steady Shoot is an indentured servant being tortured.
Something like that.
In a
I mean,
sense.
I think I know what's happening, but I Steady Shoot thinks he knows what's happening too. But the problem is, it's going about the exact wrong way.
He's trying to get you angry.
He's trying to get me angry, but the problem is he's framed it the worst possible way.
Maybe it's just how what he's noticed and the kinds of people that he may have experienced.
Did I just shrink?
Yeah, just so I could see the buildings a little bit
Okay.
better.
Experiments are.
I mean, you're already way larger than everybody else.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be that much larger.
I'm just saying, like, is he shrinking me for a narrative reason or just for a convenience?
Okay.
It's a convenience reason.
Alright, so he's bombing me.
Yeah, he's pretty much he's bombing you, and he just kind of he steps back, and just starts he takes out what looks to be a small silver dagger, and just kind of he presses the blunt end, like the actual flat end of the blade, just right against the side of your body, and just kind of runs it along. Or this would make a good mark. I don't know, you just look like the kind of person to get really exceptionally angry.
You don't want that.
Ooh, you don't know what I want. And he kind of turns the blade a little bit and starts pressing the sharp end kind of into your side slightly. Not the tip, just like the actual long end of the blade.
This isn't what they're for.
I'd say blades make a very good surgical tool.
Not that.
And he kind of pulls the blade away. Oh, then what are they for?
It's not anger.
He kind of thinks a little bit. Well.
For the little.
Oh, the little one. You mean Star Dancer? And he puts air quotes, friends,
Now Steady Shoot is bewildered like.
Ooh. We'll have to get them in here to do the same thing then.
No, it's not anger. It's for using.
Well, now would be a perfect time to use it then, as he turns the blade once more and just kind of, he doesn't press, he just kind of runs it along to let you know that it's still there. Not politely.
Alright, I do nothing.
And you kind of, he casually strolls over to his desk, and you see him take out that same notepad, and he starts writing in it. He leaves you strapped to the table, however.
Fine.
And we go over now to the group of Darkfire, Star Dancer, Ring Dancer, Isdell, Notley, Blitz, and the new pony.
Please ask her full name. Ask her full name. It's very important. I think. I suspect it is incredibly important, actually.
The new pony?
No.
Creepy.
The stalker girl. Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I had written this down because I believe that.
Ring dancer? Or not ring dancer, Star dancer. Do you want to take out of that?
think of how to phrase it. So if you know.
Okay.
So,
I kind
I mean,
of.
there's probably no way to say it without say like, what's your full name? That is.
Luke walking up at this point.
Yeah, you guys notice Darkfire just kind of and Darkfire, you be met with the sight of your party members, obviously. A very large-looking hippogriff who is being hugged by the pony that.
very large, very colorful hippogriff.
Yes, she is very colorful. And she's being hugged by the pony that you guys had seen in that love letter to Steady Shoot, like in the photos.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yep. Alrighty. I'm walking
looked
up.
at her, are you sure we haven't met?
And
I
she
could
kind
have
of.
sworn that. I usually ask people for their full name just because I'm really bad with faces.
She kind of
Hey, aren't you
thinks.
that one pony that's stalking our friend?
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
thought was gonna happen.
Well, she starts thinking at Isdal's first mention and just going, I don't think I've met you. And then Darkfire just comes from behind and, you know, lays down the savagery.
If looks could kill Darkfire, you'd be dead.
And
Isla just glares at you like.
and
Yeah, that's what happened.
she kind of she kind of looks over. Huh? What? Stalking? I don't stalk people. And she kind of looks almost disgusted with the whole concept.
Oh, sorry, that was just... Alright, well, I'm sense motivating on that lie.
Go for it.
That probably isn't a lie, but... Nope.
Yeah, she looks like disgusted at the fact that you would even suggest such a thing. And Notley looks around to you, Darkfire. Hey, who are you? She kind of looks towards Star Dancer. Star Dancer, is this one of your friends?
Like a super extra lie, because we are literally giving her a love potion. There is no way that's not some version of a lie.
I'm wondering what's going on, but I'm not really sure. So, yes, he's usually not this rude.
Star Dancer, you're picking up on the fact that she is angry. Like, that part is genuine. The disgust, maybe not. But, you could definitely tell that she's more, it more comes off as a sort of anger. As, you know, just some random person coming up here and accusing her or something.
I wasn't accusing. I was asking.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
you're
right,
you're
it's
you're
really
asking in a
doesn't sound
very
like an
backhanded way, yeah.
Yes.
It's like you know, going up to somebody, hey, aren't you the guy that did my wife last week? And like, you know, like it's like that. It's very backhanded.
Okay, can I remember, or take a moment to remember the, like, note and such that was left behind with Steady Shoot? Because
Yeah,
I remember the picture, but I don't remember what the note said.
The note itself is in Steady Shoot. You can feel free to give me a history check.
And I think I read over it briefly when you showed it to others, if you did.
I think I did.
You vaguely remember that it was a limerick made.
It's more along the lines of I wouldn't have prevented other people from reading it until I realized what was going on, which was long enough for everyone to probably have read it.
Well, you do remember that it was a limerick, a very lovely, heroic limerick about the Munster Hunter.
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. And Darkfire, you're actually met with a giant, like, fluff of feathers. Looking down at you is a very imposing, very colorful hippogriff.
I just looked back up.
She's giving you the stink eye. She isn't saying anything.
Well, let's see. A while ago, we found our party member woke up with one of these love potions underneath his blanket and a picture of her. And I pointed at her. Not the hippogriff, but this pony.
Right. No, I actually think your name's for him.
And Notley seems to puff up her feathers. She looks down at you. My friend here is not a problem child. And she looks down at you very, very, very sternly. Is this gonna be a problem?
No. If she wasn't, wasn't the person who's just talking, then it wouldn't be a book.
Well, of course she wasn't. This is a school of magic and potions.
Actually, don't we still have that love potion?
Steady still has that love. Who is
Damn
not
it,
there?
I'm aware, yes.
Why is he being so damn stubborn about raging? It's not like it's important to his character or anything.
Well, we're not there.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I know.
You just wait, mister. Alright. Well, Notley, is still giving you the stink eye. She is not backing down, and
Darkfire, you should go find Steady Shoot. I think he went south.
in
I
fact,
message you. Leave
You should
now.
you should probably apologize first.
Well, I apologize for asking about that. I was distracted and just that was the first thing that came to mind.
and
What?
let me roll this really quick. He gives you a
Okay.
very stern look. You can certainly give me a wisdom check really quick.
Okay. Wisdom check or a will save?
Oh, ooh. What does Pathfinder have you do that kind of? It'd be a wisdom check. Damn
That's
it.
alright, no bonuses here.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh no! What do I do now?
What you can tell is that she is giving you a very intimidating glare. However, you are free to not be intimidated by it with that check. She kind of poofs along and just kind of waves a little feathered wing. You be along now. Very stern about it. Kind of looks over to you, Star Dancer. Star Dancer, is this one of your friends?
Well, he's usually not this rude.
She kind of
Lesser variety of rude.
she looks back over to Darkfire. I'll believe it when I see it. And Ivory is just kind of standing back. She did say her name. You guys just didn't catch it. And
The beginning of her name, Ivory. is
yeah.
Well, what did she say? I've been listening to her this entire time.
Well, she's just been kind of watching this exchange between Notley and Darkfire, and seems to know better than to get in the middle of it.
I still maintain we need to know her full name. Unless Ivory is her full name, and then we're fine.
I mean, we can always go check the registry.
I turn back and say, ignore my friend. He's not.
I can tell.
Sometimes.
Anyways, my name is Delazar. Are you sure we have that? I'm much better with names.
And she cuts you off as she kind of jumps forward, and she doesn't take your paw, but she gives you an entire hug. And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. It's fine." And she kind of pulls back away. My name is, and she kind of like looks up in the air just for a second. Ivory Drop. Yep.
Every drop. I recognize that name very much.
Mm-hmm. Where? And she kind of tilts her head. Ooh, was it one of my books?
That was out of character.
Oh. Fair.
Right. Here's the thing. I didn't write this down. But what was the name of the person who set out all of the golems?
Ivory drop.
Ivory Drop. There we go.
Oh god.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as I heard Ivory, I'm like, that sounds familiar.
I'd like to start searching for signs of Steady Shoot.
Steady Shoot is not here at the moment.
I know, that's like I'm trying to find you. I was
That
just
would-
looking
that-
myself.
That would be a survival check.
Survival. Okay. Tracking check.
Yeah.
If you have any bonuses to tracking, take them now.
You
Sure,
do.
I'll take that.
Well,
Some-
as a matter of fact,
Do
Ivory drop. Was it you that saw those golems in the mines to the south?
Oh, they're still working! And she kind of gives a little clap. I'm so happy.
Out of character. Hold on. Star Dancer is. What? Wait.
Wow.
Is
Oh, sorry.
Ivory Drop is not the stalker, right? Star Dancer?
I mean, it seems
Are we
like
talking
the,
out of character
I
right
think
now?
the answer to this is that Ivory Drop is both the stalker and the
Okay.
architect of everything.
So I really need that potion. We're talking out of character right now. I really need that potion so that we can have it checked, because I think we're dealing with time travel.
Time.
So she's not the stalker yet.
This could also be quote.
Oh no, she's gonna see things, fall in love, and then go stalk you. But travel into the past to view it.
However, I mean, we also saw her in her
Time travel.
Right, if that's
The
time
others-
if this time travel theory is right, then that's no problem.
But it could also be someone that stole her body.
Oh yeah, it could be. She's acting a little weird, but you know.
And
So was everyone else.
and your survival check, by the way. I need to get to that dork fire. It was only because of the shoddy janitorial work from that other pony that you noticed big hoof steps in some of the puddles of water that you could only assume was left behind by, you know, the illustrious Little Spout. And yeah.
Big
Steady
steps
shoot.
that left ahead by Little Spout, really?
No, like you stepped in some of the puddles that he left behind.
Yeah, you said left
You said
behind
you
the.
said little-
Oh,
Literally
my
the
bad,
top
my
of-
bad.
Puddles from Little Spout.
Yeah.
Puddles from Steady Shoot. There you
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
I see.
And it was
I see.
left
When
in
you
a
think of me, you
puddle
think of
of
David. I understand.
Well, yeah, you'd be able to kind of follow them over there. And the first thing you see is, you see two sphinxes on the outside, and they seem to be kind of like looking at a potion, and they kind of trade. And one of the ones on the left kind of looks left and right, and then he looks up for good measure, and then he drinks the potion, and you see him start to transform into what looks like a very small frog.
go.
Can I spellcraft this?
You can
Just,
certainly
like-
try.
Is that a potion of like polymorph?
It is indeed.
Potion of frog form.
And the other one just starts like taking notes on this as he kind of pulls out like a small bag. But every now and again he'll look up and he'll be like, his ears will kind of flit around and he'll be like listening for anything like, and like it seems like he's listening for somebody to try to like stay out of view more or less. And I mean he catches on to you and like stops for a minute, looks you up and down, and like seems to look away is like that like, oh, he's not a professor look, and just keep on doing what he's doing.
Walk over to him. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Wait, how old is this guy if he's talking like that?
Give me a nature check.
That was an interesting voice.
Oh, nope, he's obviously well aged.
He's yeah, he's 30, yeah. Don't, you're not gonna tell on me, are you?
No, I mean,
Cake.
well, you're not supposed to do that.
He looks really nervous.
Don't answer it, I don't have time for it. As long as nobody dies.
And
Anyway, have you seen a rather large Antian pony come through here?
oh, and he kind of, he's calming down just a little bit from your very, very, very small interrogation. I think and he's very nervous now. Mr. And he kind of leans in. Mr. Flask took him up to his office. Oh, what a sorry sucker.
Where is this office?
And he points upward to the, like, one of the points of the V, specifically like the left point. And there seems to have been a window there. However, it seems to have been blocked off from where you're standing, and there's like it's a few floors up. He's up there. And feel free to give me a perception check really quick.
Okay. What the hell?
I mean, you hear birds and things like that. You do hear the faintest little coming from that area.
Holy crap. Wait, you rolled a 1 and still got 23? Holy crap.
Yeah.
And he kind of points up there. Just don't tell him we're down here. I don't want to be in his office next.
Listen. And I brush past.
Give me an intimidation roll. Oh, here it comes.
Now you're gonna get a
Not the
20.
most intimidating.
I mean, it's good enough for him to seem like he's about to have a heart attack. As you walk away. The doors are in that central, like, crux of the V.
Oh, okay. And to make sure, you said his office was there?
The left side.
So, Darkfire's left or my left?
Map left. I'm just looking at the map.
The
Yep.
west side.
Yep.
West Point.
West Point. That's where the fabled office is. Yes.
Alright, well I kind of trot in through the front doors.
And you are immediately met with these same smells, steady shoe wood, just a lot of perfumey, a lot of earthy kind of sweet smells and things like that. And you will very quickly realize that you have to go to each end of the V to get up to the next stairs upward. And it takes you like floor after floor after floor. So you would come to the very top floor, which would be the direction of his office. And his office is at the very end. And as you're approaching, we go to Steady Shoot. Steady Shoot. He stops.
Steady.
He stops writing what seems to be like a small, like notes on, like, and occasionally looking up at you as you kind of breathe on the table. And he thinks for a moment. Different approach, huh? And he looks around and looks over next to the operating table where he had misplaced your bag. And just tilts his head a little bit. Ooh, what's in here? And he kind of goes over to your, I believe you have a bag of holding. Do you have a normal saddlebag or is it a bag of holding?
It's a regular.
And he starts going through it. And I mean, you'd be able to kind of see out of your peripherals him just kind of rifling through your stuff. And kind of pulls out what seems to be a very small vial, pink one. What's this? Is it a little tink tink? Ooh. Trying to use this on somebody. He gives you a small, very small smirk. And he kind of shrugs. So, you won't mind if I do this then? And he kind of goes to the side of the table, pulls out another syringe, pokes the needle in, and start to withdraw the love potion.
What is this?
You won't get mad, I'm sure. I'm sure your girlfriend would definitely make you mad in a second. And he withdraws the thing, kind of ting 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 on the side of the thing. And he kind of leans in, get mad, and I won't. He pushes the needle. He doesn't push it in yet. He pushes it against that same crook in your arm where he took the blood.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna smash the chair.
Well, as he's whispering sweet things into your ears to the shoot, you just hear a little, and he kind of stops. He takes a deep breath. Is it important?
Yes.
And there's a little bit of silence before he continues. I'm waiting.
Alright. I open the door.
And looks
And
over.
I'm mid-saying what? Yeah, I'm looking for this anti... And then I'll suddenly stop whenever you describe what it's.
Yeah, and what you walk in and see is Steady Shoot strapped to a table, slightly singed on, or moderately singed on different parts of his body, and the a syringe full of a pinkish liquid, kind of press up to one of his like the crooks in one of his hooves. He looks over. I didn't say to open the door. I meant to state your business.
What is this? What is going on here? My hackles kind of raise.
And see him just kind of put a small hoof right up to his belt, where he like shows you a bunch of different things, potions and things. Wolf, you do not want to start this.
What?
Steady, what's going
I
on?
thought that was my line. I volunteered to ask about my bloodline thing, but he's being vague.
He kind of
And
looks towards.
he's torturing you?
So vague is just another word. Idiots. They can't understand what's happening.
I understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You're trying to make me angry for stupid reasons.
Hmm? Go on. He's putting on this very
I
sarcastic
don't
smile.
want to be angry for stupid reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That
Sure.
is a bad idea.
Uh-huh. Like you haven't gotten ink sources. I bet your friend
I
right
have-
here was one of those stupid reasons, wasn't it?
I have gotten angry for many not stupid reasons. And many stupid reasons in the past that I don't want to.
He looks to you, Darkfire, as she finishes this. As you can see, I'm very busy.
As you can see, I am very busy. And then what?
He just tells you to leave.
I will not leave it you torturing my friend like this.
I need security again.
Well, out of character, I really don't know what to do here.
Yeah, the problem is that both of us are conflicting in our pride. Like, Steady Shoot's pride is on the line for like not getting angry over dumb stuff, but his line is he's not just gonna ask, "Can you activate your blood?" Because Steady Shoot can, and if you would ask, he'd be like, "Sure."
I am kind of wondering about that. I'm like, this entire time I'm kind of like, this isn't out of character for him, but it's a weird way to take his character.
Out of
Well,
character.
I mean, in fairness, nobody ever told him he was a Blood Rager. He's just kind of assuming.
That's it. Why are you even torturing me? Trying to get him mad? That's not. From what I've seen, I don't think that's how it works. You could just ask.
Hmm. Kind of lifts his eyebrows up. Really now? Alright, and he kind of sarcastically looks over you and your Steady Shoot. Alright, sweet stuff. Could you please get back to me? Kind of look inside.
Yeah, okay, rage.
Break the table, break the wall, break everything.
Right, I'm actually gonna do that though. I'm gonna try and break the table as I do.
Go for it.
So the other worst part about this is if you actually got started there, she'd be like, "Oh, upset this is happening," and then if you mentioned that he signed the waiver, she'd be like, "Oh, okay, carry on then. He signed the waiver."
I'm really glad I wasn't the star that found you.
Right. All that. I think I did.
So, quick question for you, Steady Shoot.
Hold on, let me make sure. Oh yeah, what's up? Looking up.
When you rage,
Raider
you
Blood
get all
Rage,
your...
I now get I now get a plus. Normally it's a morale bonus to strength and constitution, but because it's improved Blood Rage, technically it's not that. It's to hit. But
You're using rage as though it's unchanged, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of getting a morale bonus, you just get a bonus to hit and damage.
That's right.
Well,
I mean, it works out the same.
Except in cases where you're using strength, it doesn't have to do with doing damage.
I don't
Like
know what
right
your
now.
I don't know what your modifier is for strength and things like that. However, your DC to break the table is a strength. Actually, tell me how you're going about it first.
Well, right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm just straining against the bonds, which means basically I'm straining down onto the table.
Gotcha. Well, to break the actual table would be a 25 strength check.
So which would break first if you're straining against the bonds to break the table?
Uh,
Table or the bonds?
The bonds are magically
Enhance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the table.
yeah. And the table was described as wriggly. Anyway, we'll see if I can do it. I actually have one more kind of to do it because I have +6. What if I use an athletics check?
I mean, you're not really using athletics. Like, you're not like
Oh, there's no
bodybuilding.
athletics anyway.
Well, he's flexing.
There's no
Yeah.
athletics anyway.
He's really out here flexing on Mr. Carnelian.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'd give you the bonus in this situation, but it's not.
Right. Anyway, so I'm probably not gonna be able to break it straight up.
Go for it. Still try.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say,
God.
please don't roll a 1.
Oh my god.
There
Oof.
are so many ones.
Oh.
I know.
Well, I mean, it was a 1. As you kind of strain to get released, he's still pushing that the tip of the needle directly next to your hoof. And you kind of start struggling as he like looks over. Very like he gave the command but wasn't expecting you to actually do anything. And
Right. Well, I did also rage at the moment, so we might not be able to get through because I have bark skin now.
True.
Like I grow bark skin when I rage.
Ooh. What does that do for you actually?
Actually,
Let's take that into consideration.
It's an AC bonus. It's a natural armor bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
But it does mean that, like, I guess you will have a harder time getting through because it's a natural armor bonus that's supposed to be you deflect more from your natural armor. So it means that if he's like trying to jab it in gently, it won't do it.
Well, it's the thing is he's not the one trying to jab it in. It was you flexing as you kind of go into the rage. That would kind of push it inward.
So, would it be some kind of check against his natural armor bonus or something?
It was just an effect of the nat 1. That's what I was told.
Actually,
okay.
when I rage, I can cast a spell on myself now.
If it has any somatic components whatsoever.
Well, the thing is, what I can do is I can cast a large self on myself, which means
Oh,
I get
no.
to make a strength check to break whatever I'm inside.
You can definitely try. I will allow that.
Alright.
That makes total sense.
I'm sure it's gonna be another 25 though.
So you get big, you grow in size, and you're green.
Well, the thing is that if I don't succeed, I don't grow in size. Basically, it's a thing that like if you cast it, you have a chance to get larger, and then
Yeah.
get angry, and you know you have a chance when you're trying to get larger. You can choose to break whatever you're in as the purpose of getting larger. But if you do that and you don't break whatever you're in, you don't like get smushed. You just don't.
Yeah, you grow up until the size of the whatever you're contained in.
Right, yeah, I rolled a 5.
Oof. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
not
those
work
are some
too.
bad rolls.
That would not work to break it. And I mean, in tandem with, you know, your flexing, and then your body trying to grow in place, you feel that small swing. And I need you to give me a will save really quick.
We'll see.
Oh, hold on. Let me check my raging is actually better for this. Hold on. Is that the correct amount of will save? Yeah.
Whatever your will save is while you're raging.
Yeah. It's got the plus. Oh my god! I rolled 2. What is this crap?
Oh no.
Oh no. Hey, you know that episode where Shirley and Big Mac both have the love potion?
The love poison, yeah.
And they tie Big Mac to a house?
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, this just happened.
Oh boy. Well,
Oh no.
Darkfire, that you just kind of have small flashes just in your mind of that picture that you saw of your lover. Or of
And
the
you mean steady shoot?
It's the other way around. Sorry, I was thinking different. Of the pony that you'd seen in those photos. That was you were considering your stalker. She looks very lovely, very cute. He seems like just your type. Although you are angry while you think this, so I mean, it's a very angry, passionate thing.
Oh, man.
And he kind of pulls away the elixir and just like looks to you, Darkfire, like as he does it, and then looks back. Fucking Christ! Like just initially from the whole thing, and then he looks down at the needle. You know what? You signed the waiver, and then just kind of casually puts the tip of the needle back into the stopper, puts the the rest of the potion that was remaining within the actual needle into it. Just puts like about half a bottle of that love potion back in Steady's.
Jesus, how potent is this potion if that little bit is affecting?
I mean, it's a love potion. Potions aren't necessarily like.
It's
you have
more.
to drink the whole thing for it to affect you.
No, Darkfire. It's more the fact that this is literally going right into his bloodstream rather than being like.
Yeah.
And kind of
All
blinks.
right then. So there we go.
He just kind of like blinks. He's looking at you, and while you're raging, he quickly looks back to his counter and cupboard of things, and he seems to have almost like he's starting to ignore you at this point, Darkfire, and as he kind of rummages in for what looks like to be like a bunch of different needles, different empty syringes again, and kind of goes over to the other side of his arm, as he's like being really mad, and kind of you feel another ding, and he starts withdrawing another blood sample.
I'm actually not sure what to do at this point. I'm kind of confused, so I'm just watching, and if he does anything torturous, then I'll act.
And after he's done taking the sample, he ding, ding, just taps it a little bit, puts the little cover on, and gives it a small label with a small bit of ink. He sets it over on his desk, looks back to you, Steady Shoot. Alright, got what I needed. He kind of sits down. I'll unstrap you when you're calm.
All right. What effect is the potion having?
And just kind of smiles. Well, you see.
No. I'm not asking. No. This is the player asking.
Oh.
How is he
Steady has not
reacting?
said anything.
Oh,
Steady
yo, I
is
got you.
angry to say anything. Steady is actually like he's raging, so he's actually like while he has calm rage, he is still raging.
Gotcha. Well, the effect that you're feeling is you feel very, very warm toward that pony that you remember in the photos. The blue one with the scarf and all that. That had left that specific love potion for you, according to Beautiful. You feel you feel like you want to see her at this very moment.
I don't know her name though.
Nope. You just know you want to see her.
Right. Let's see. That work with the rage to try and get me there? Yeah, it probably might at the moment. So, I'm still trying to snap this, I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to snap these bonds still.
Well, he's kind of sitting down, and like I said, he looked at you. I'll believe you when you're calm.
Straining.
Stepping back because
He just kind of closing the door slowly.
what have I done?
What exactly happened here? This is bad. Alright, so I strain, and I guess since I didn't pass the check,
You do. I mean, you crack the table a little bit, not much. I mean, it was still a decent check. He just kind of still sits there, having fun yet. Talking to you, Steady Shoot.
good God. Well, I'm not responding. I'm raging. I'm
Oh, you must tell me these things.
He is still working on
busy.
breaking the
Sorry
table.
about. Sorry.
Ah, you're good. You're good. You're good. And
Still angrified.
he just kind of he steps up to you. Oi, thump thump thump. Kind of taps your head. Getting through your skull yet? Calm down, and I'll let you out. I know you want out.
Yeah, it's all. Especially since I'd roll a 19. You set.
And just kind of sighs, and goes over to his desk and kind of presses on a small tab.
How many did I roll?
Start answer. You do feel
I'm gonna go ahead and subtract a round of rage for each of them.
you feel one of those pebbles that you got in your office start to kind of vibrate. Start answer.
Oh, well, we're still over here. Oh, I appear to be, I appear someone's calling me.
Who's calling you?
It would be the
I
one.
don't know, I have to go check in my office.
Oh, I thought you picked up the small stones and took them with you.
No, I left them there. I didn't even think of taking them.
That's
I
right.
guess I have like a check spell on them, so I know when I'm on campus, I know when they're ringing.
No, I'll accept that.
Okay.
And, if you're running
My
straight.
ID card has it on it.
Yeah. You're in the, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And you're kind of running over to your office, and you know the whole same thing with the transmutation building happens. It takes you right to it. It's not that hard to get to it.
I'm
There-
used to it.
Yeah, they're kind of ringing on your thing. It's just the one from Cornelia, and it's just kind of vibrating on the desk.
Raise an eyebrow. Answering Cobblestone.
And see the very annoyed face of Carnelian. About time you've picked up, and he kind of flips over the thing to look toward Steady Shoot, who is very mad on the table. Can you calm your friend down?
Maybe? What did you do?
I think Steady Shoot might actually be angry for doing the potion thing, but not being able to stop himself because now he's got the potion in him.
And he turns the stone back. He signed the waiver.
Oh, well. I can try.
What's your alignment?
Fine. Neutral good.
Neutral?
Neutral.
Signing the waiver. Oh, that's perfectly fine. Sounds like neutral.
It's more of I've dealt with this before.
I feel
I know that he knows way more about the logistics of it than I do.
I feel like signing any waiver and being okay with it is any sort of lawful alignment. It doesn't matter what the actual axis is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You have a good point. Lawful good would I don't know. I think lawful good might still be like law, but
Lawful
Well,
good.
no,
Here's a good comparison. Lawful good is like Phoenix right, right? Like that's lawful good contracting and lawyering. And there's like lawful neutral, which is just like what you're in this current situation. You know, there's a gray area of science, and then there's lawful evil, which is like devils, like it's signing over your soul to things.
yeah.
But yeah, no, you see him just kind of do like walk over and set the stone on Steady Shoot's body, who is trying to break the table. Steady Shoot, you would see the ever so cute face of Star Dancer and Blitz right behind her, still feeling her wings and things.
And he's still apparently.
Yeah, I took. You ran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have
Excuse
fallen.
myself and run.
Yeah, this is your guys' moment.
So, I mean, I've never had to calm down a raging rager before.
yeah.
I mean, I can freeze him. Does that help?
No, that would probably make it worse.
I mean, it would cool him down.
You could certainly try something and then see if a diplomacy roll might convince Steady Shoot to do it. Which
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
trying to think of what to
which-
say.
which would be entirely up to him out of character.
I know exactly what to say, guys. Are we down there?
Now we're talking to them through a video phone, basically.
Okay.
Guys, hold on. Probably. Alright, so I'm gonna roll diplomacy for this. I'm like, steady shoot. You need to calm down. We found your stalker.
Oh no!
Because I don't know what's going on.
I'll Steady Shoot. I'll let you set the DC for whatever amount that you'd be okay with him diplomatizing you with.
What's up?
I'm letting you set the DC for the diplomacy roll he's rolling against you.
Did you hear what he said?
Just roll.
He just said he found your stalker.
Yes. If you said you found the stalker and you're convincing that it's the stalker,
And this,
straining against the bonds again.
I don't think that helped.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Question for Cornelian.
For who? Oh, for Cornelian.
Cornelian. So how bad did it get?
Well, he kind of thinks. And Darkfire, you hear this from outside the door if you're just kind of casually listening in.
no, I was still in. I was joking about closing the door.
Oh, okay. Well, you hear this then. He just kind of points in your general direction. That one, and he kind of tilts the stone so you can see Darkfire. Decided it'd be a great time to interrupt my experimentation.
Oh yes, your experimentation when you could have just asked him to rage. You could have been here for days. I helped your research.
I rolls his eyes and kind of grumbles a little bit. See why I would be a little upset at the moment.
Start groans a little bit. You did read my paper on the Antians, didn't you?
He falls a little silent.
Almost their entire being is built around protecting those smaller than them. You should have known that.
I should have, I suppose. He kind of grumbles into the stone. Well, he's certainly not calming down.
Sleep spell wouldn't work.
I mean, it will if you. I mean, it will if you manage to get past my
Well,
my hit dice.
And he kind of, you see,
Only have to beat.
well, I mean, a normal kind of, yeah, a normal kind of
Only
sleep
have
spell
to
doesn't
beat
work.
140 hit points.
It hit dice, not points.
Oh,
And,
okay. It's 11 hit dice then.
Uh-huh.
And you see him kind of just like think for a moment before he kind of he goes out of frame for you, Star Dancer, out of the thing.
Thinking for a moment, that's enough time for me to strain again.
Yeah.
Waste another round of rage.
Nice. I like it. But like Darkfire, you see him actually go to that window, which from the inside you actually notice isn't boarded up. It's more just the style of the blinds as he kind of pulls them up, and he pulls them up and like looks over the edge, and you see him shout downward, "Oi! You two!" You hear this squeak back. I am so sorry. Oh my god! Stop your blathering!
Could
Get
you
up
just
here!
walk further away from your mic to make that effect.
Yeah. And
That's great.
and
That was really good.
he looks he keeps looking downward, shouting down to him. Yep. Bring up whatever potions that you have right now to my office. And you just hear that same voice from down below. He told you, didn't he?
No.
And now he just kind of he doesn't go right up to the door, but he kind of like waits, like looking over your shoulder, like over your head rather, just waiting for that student to come up. And it takes them just as long as you did to like come up this far.
Who's this?
It was the Sphinx that Darkfire found outside the place.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah, and he's
Seems
practically
like another 5 seconds.
yeah, and he
I
he's
mean,
tipping.
there's a timer on this, you know.
Yeah, no, I got you. And he's tip tapping
How many rounds
along.
do you have?
I have 17. I have 16 rounds left.
Oh no,
Okay.
Jesus.
Wait, guys, I know. I actually do know something that can get him to stop raging.
Mud slaps.
What?
Wrong person.
Wrong person.
I'm gonna click rage just in outrage. I'm gonna
Well,
click another strain.
this very nerdy looking Sphinx comes right up. I didn't mean to. I turned it back. I swear. Quit your blathering. And the nerdy pony tries to kind of like shove past you and kind of has to squeeze his way into the door. Darkfire. And he kind of shoots you this like terrified look as he kind of goes past. And he just starts like rummaging around. Where do I? What? Oh my god! And he kind of rolls his eyes. What were your lessons today? And he almost panics as he tries to think of all of the different classes that he was in today. Let's see. I was in transportation and enchantment. Yeah, on the second floor. And he just kind of thinks, second floor, enchantment. All right. Let's see. Let me see what potions you have in that class. And the poor Sphinx kind of pulls out what looks like a small bag of holding. Okay. Just don't fail me, please. And then he kind of pulls out like a couple different looking potions that look like they were somewhat shoddily made. You know, like about B, C grade potions. And he just kind of tip. He starts like, putting his finger over every single one and like looking at it just for a second. Till he picks up one that looks kind of bluish, like a light bluish, though it's like semi-translucent. And he kind of looks at it. What was this little tube? And then he takes it over to you, steady shoot, and shoves it in your face.
What's going on here?
Well, you can definitely give me a will save.
Am I saving against potions?
No, you're saving against something in particular.
So the guy that had you strapped
Yeah,
down
this
had a
time I
shield.
save.
You do. You feel this general sense of like maybe possibly trying to calm down a little bit, and then you just brush it off because you're in rage. And he just kind of you
Oh
see
God.
you see Carnelian look toward the other pony. That was the worst calm emotion potion I have ever had the chance to give somebody. What are y'all doing?
I'm looking at Star Dancer and just messaging. So
I'm not sure if I feel bad or not about
having
this.
on, how do we calm him down? This isn't a message. So that way there's nothing out loud. Just
Yep.
Star Dancer. How do we calm him down?
The answer is finish the fight.
You have a shrug. I've never had to research blood rages before.
Well, now is certainly the time. And he kind of you
Do I
see him.
have any spells that can help?
If you have calm emotions.
I have Phantasmal Killer.
No!
That's about all I have.
No!
That is very different.
I know, that's about the closest thing I actually have to that.
It's funny because calm emotions literally suppresses like rage as like the things from rage.
Can I mend his emotions with mending?
Mending? No.
I'm sure we can rush off to the commissary and get a scroll of it somewhere, but I don't actually have that spell.
Well, if you're looking for scrolls, especially those of calm emotions, they would definitely be in the enchantment building. Right next to you.
Ah, what a pain.
Aw,
Grab
man,
the little stone
24.
and rush off to the enchantment
Are
building.
you kidding me?
The poor guy, steady shoot. The DC for that was only like 12, I think. Like,
DC for what? The strength check to
No.
strain again?
The
The
willpower.
the calm emotions.
Calm emotions. Yeah, it doesn't work at all.
I mean, if anybody's gonna have a chance, it's Star Dancer, because she has a much higher DC.
Right. Well, anyway, I strain again and I get a 24, but it ain't enough.
Nope. Almost. I mean, with the with that 24, I mean, like the straps themselves obviously don't break. However, the like very like structure of the table where they are latched into seems to kind of creak and bend a little bit.
Okay, how much is this gonna cost me?
Depends on who you get it from. Are you getting it from a student or are you getting it from a professor?
Well, I was going to get see if I could get a heightened one so that it would have a much higher chance of working.
That would be a upper level like senior
Yeah.
/ professor one, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, rushing through, looking for whoever I can.
Yep.
I'm
And
gonna go get this from.
you would it is the School of Enchantment, so I mean, immediately going into the building, you do feel suddenly a lot happier. It's somewhat strange. However, going into it, this one, it has like the same kind of elevator thing. It just isn't as fancy as the transmutation one, obviously. And you would know to go right up to one of the upper floors to get the one that you're looking for. And
So I just noticed we had a problem. Calm Emotions is not on the wizard spell list.
oof.
It is a bard, cleric, shaman, inquisitor. I can cast it, but I have to go find someone. I have to go find a bard to get me a scroll.
A bard, you say?
Yes. Well, okay, that happened. Rush back out, rush across, let's go get the bard.
And I mean, it seems like they're just packing up, doing what they were doing earlier, like the marching band has been done practicing for that day. And the instructor that you'd seen with the small afros, just kind of giving his final goodbyes. He's doing the detail to attention and dismissal of the thing, and everybody has already started like going their way, and he's just kind of gathering up all those things and getting ready to go himself.
Yeah. Probably during that travel time he can use another rage round.
Yep. Go for it.
Oh shoot.
Oh no.
Yay!
And I mean, you've already started creaking them. It wasn't much harder to bust them out of their thing, and you break off like 2 or 3, which effectively makes the whole thing like much more integrally weaker. And I don't think I'm even gonna have you roll for like something that's like DC 11. So, like,
Boom.
yeah. And Carnelian just kind of rushes to the door, and Darkfire, he kind of almost tackles you out of the door, like trying to like close it behind him. All right, we're just gonna wait out here right now, aren't we?
Why?
Did you see?
I mean, if the door is closed by the time I get there, I'm slamming into the door.
I'm still in the room. I step out of the way.
And I mean, Carnelian is just trying to get out of the way from wherever you're going. Just kind of shouting behind him, "You've signed the waiver! You've signed the waiver!"
Boom. Or would that be an attack?
Are you going for him or the door?
The door.
Oh. I mean, if
I
you're
mean,
attacking the door, it's just a normal door. You could certainly roll damage.
Is the door closed?
Well, I mean, he tried to close it behind him if Darkfire went out. Otherwise, they would roll contesting strength checks.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Are you like he was pretty much shoving you out of the door and trying to close it behind him?
Oh, okay, so no, I have a feeling I know what Steady Shoot's gonna do. I step out of the way of the door.
Ah, well, he does close it behind him, so yes, you would roll your damage against him.
Okay.
I like how many rounds of rage it took you to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, just at 19.
The
Like,
first,
this is an unmodified strength check, so.
yeah,
And the way my rage works, I didn't get the additional +3 I was normally.
Ah, well, that first one would definitely break the door open. Yes. Oof.
Boom. Through the door. Who is in the hallway?
Nobody at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is
Darkfire
what.
in there?
These are the well, Carnelian and Darkfire, yeah, are like in the hallway. I thought you meant like students and things. There isn't any
Okay.
students that you could see up in this, because this is like the upper level.
Who was talking about where she was? How was that being communicated?
Isdell looked into the thing and said, "We found your."
I didn't tell you where.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Who was talking that did indicate they knew where?
Me.
You?
Oh, no.
All right.
no,
And then,
no.
but how is Isdell communicating with her?
That little, you know that the Star Dancer had those stones in her office. That's where she was calling from.
Okay. And so where was the stone? Was it in the office?
Wasn't it on his chest?
Yeah, the stone itself that was like you were being talked to is on your chest. However, you know it was being like used from her office up here in the Transmutation Building.
Okay. Anyway, I look actually at the chest and I say, "Where is she?"
Where? What?
Uh,
Has
did
it
you-
been
Come to the
disactivated?
bard school and I'll tell you.
All right. Headed down
Okay.
the stairs in the
Okay,
circuitous.
I got it.
I am
Now we don't have to go
following
through
behind
that.
about 50 feet.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What are you doing, Darkfire?
I'm
I have
following
a good
Steady
idea
Shoot,
about
but like I'm 15 feet behind him.
That's fair. Carnelian is like right next to you. He like rushed. He rushed, but he rushed back into his office, grabbed that notepad, and then sprinted off to catch up to you. And he's just kind of taking notes as Steady Shoot's rushing away.
Hey, Star Dancer. Trust me.
And we go to start. We go.
Probably just barely enough for you to ask that question.
And Star Dancer. We go to you.
Okay.
The halfling is just kind of packing up and getting his things ready.
So, rushing up to him. Becky, do you have a skill of calm emotions or have it prepared?
And he kind of jumps up.
Wait, you don't prepare spells? Do you know that spell?
Yeah. And he kind of he jumps up. Huh, what? Star Dancer. Oh, it's so great to see you. So great. What do you mean, calm emotion?
Hey, we have a problem with the Blood Ranger.
Okay, take me to him. I've dealt with them before.
He's coming to us.
Oh, well, get prepared.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And
I'm
you see him,
prepared to cast Wall of Ice.
and you he starts rummaging through like all of the different things that he brought with him there, and he kind of unsnaps this like a lootish looking case and just kind of, all right, all right, all right. Didn't expect to have to use this today. And you see him start like quickly trying to tune it, doing his thing. Oh boy, oh boy. Meanwhile,
Do you have a scroll?
not on me. That doesn't mean I don't know the spell.
Okay, good. Well, at least one of us does. I'll have to fix that later.
That is
Okay.
that is actually a spell on Ducky's list, by the way. Like you went to the exact right.
I kind of figured it would be.
but yeah. Steady shoot.
Running down some stairs. How many turns does this take?
I mean that would take you, I would say like just sprinting down the stairs, like 4 turns.
Okay. Rounds left. I really hope we don't have to get in a fight today, because this is gonna be awful.
I know, I have no spells left.
I think I actually still haven't fully healed myself. Because we went to the inn.
It's just a terrible idea.
I know it is.
Like we went to the inn. It's like, all right, guys, let's go to college.
Let's go to college, guys. All right. Well, you are successfully out of the building. I mean, there's that one. There's one Sphinx toward the that left side of the V that's kind of looking back over, as the doors burst open, and he just kind of hides back. You would steady shoot. You know this to
But
be
he's
that.
the only one out here? Is he the one directly in front of me?
He's not directly in front of you. He's over toward the edge of the building. He was like looking over and just like hid behind it as you burst out. You would just know him as the one that was turned into a frog that got turned back when you guys initially went into the building.
Is he the only who's the closest person?
Closest person is 15 feet behind you, which is Darkfire.
Right, but I can't exactly see.
What was that?
Who's the closest person I can see in front of me?
In front of you, give me a perception check.
I can still do that even as...
You notice that, like, in the distance, crossing over this bridge, and they don't seem to have noticed you, are a couple of sphinxes. You don't hear that music anymore coming from the School of Music, but you do know the School of Music to be over here.
Is it the wrong school?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, we
okay.
kind of tested. We all went in.
I just go there. I was hoping I would bust onto somebody. The bard go.
But yeah, no,
And
that
instead-
what was that? Sorry. Oh, my internet's freaking out.
Oh.
Driving
Okay.
through our college.
Gotcha. Yeah, you wouldn't have to like knock into anybody specifically, because given how long it took you guys to get up to here, it is like afternoon-ish. Most of the classes seem to be out. However, steady shoot, you do see Star Dancer and Isdal in the distance, seem to be talking to a small halfling holding a lute and tuning it. My internet's freaking out again. Hang on.
Well, three versus
Oh, hello?
Attempt to break at least 3. Cast another.
Hello?
I only have 3 4th level spell slots, but I have 6 5th level spell slots.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, I missed literally all of that, so.
We're
That's
just
okay.
discussing about how many times I can cast Wall of Ice right now.
We were discussing plans, and he's gonna cast Wall of Ice to make a dome around him. We're like, that might not be a great idea.
But every time he breaks through it, I'll just cast another one around him. Again and again and again as it gets closer. and there's gonna be like giant wall of ice around him.
Whoa.
Oh. Well, steady shoot. Yeah, you are met with that sight. What are you doing specifically? You are kind of the catalyst in all of this.
I mean, I was going towards where I was told to go, which is the office in the Bard's College.
So we
But
just
if I
have to
see
choose the Bard
somebody, okay, well then, if I see somebody I know, I'm probably headed towards them.
Aha. You do
As
see
soon
a
as he gets 180 feet away from you, I'm gonna cast Wall of Ice.
Yeah,
exactly
What's
100.
the range of calm
210.
emotions?
Or Calm Emotions?
Calm emotions is also medium.
Well,
So let's see
Ducky.
which one affects him first.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's why I said 180 feet, because that'll give the Bard 30 feet to deal with him.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Feel free to give me a will save, first and foremost, as this wall of ice goes in front of you. Steady shoot.
Wait, hold on. Did the Bard already cast it?
I mean, he's starting to cast it with you. I mean, he saw that. He's there too with you. Like, he can look over and see this giant pony just making its way over.
Antium charging axe in his mouth because he used to smash the door down.
Oof. Wall of ice. I gotta zoom in on this, actually. Hang on.
It's got like a 33-foot radius.
Damn. Well, this wall of ice comes in front of you, and,
Or 30. Or no,
Steady
no,
shoot.
Hold on.
well, I still need steady shoot to give me a will save, regardless of what you're doing. Like,
One.
oof, that is actually over his DC. So,
Yeah, because that's why I wanted to heighten one, because spells are terrible.
and he just kind of you see Ducky start playing his lute, and steady shoot. You feel that same slight moment of calm before you just kind of shake it off, and now there's a huge ice wall in your way.
Oh shit!
Well, it's a dome around him. 14-foot radius.
Well, yeah. So a giant ice wall in his way is still like.
Give me a second.
28 to smash it.
Do he smash?
Well, do you want to try to break in one hit?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, make a strength check.
He's hitting it instead of strength against it. What's his hardness?
If he's trying to break in one hit, he needs to do a strength check. Otherwise, nope, he does not break through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you break through it after the. Does it take half damage?
What's his hardness and HP?
The hardness is that's what I'm trying to figure out.
What spell is it again?
Wall of ice.
Uh, 10 foot has 3 HP per inch of thickness. It is 1 inch per caster level, so it's 11 inches thick, 33 HP.
Right.
I don't see anything about hardness. Just 33
Instead of the
HP.
normal half damage taken by Andre. So the first one does 14, the second one does 16.
Well, I mean, if
30. He
I'm
breaks
really-
through it. How are you?
I think he's only attacking once, isn't he? Because he's moving.
I mean, if we're talking in turns, yeah, I can only attack.
Okay, so you don't break through the first turn.
You did crack it really good, though.
Yeah, it has another.
8 HP.
No,
No, 5 HP. 33, 5 HP.
it has.
Oh,
Only
half.
one
That's
attack.
right, half.
Yeah. It still has that much health. So it'll take another turn for you to break through it. At least.
Well,
Alright.
we're not in initiative, so you could certainly use another turn. Like,
Star's ready to cast a spell as soon as he appears. After
I
if
can
he
just
breaks
cast
by the
another
wall.
wall of ice.
What?
I was just gonna cast another wall of ice.
I was gonna
That
cast
the plan.
force bands.
you ring
The wall
dancer,
of ice probably works better, but you know.
see ring dancer approaching with the party that you'd left.
Yeah.
We've got a problem, ring dancer. Get back over here. Steady shoot has gone completely crazy.
Ah, oh boy. And behind her, I just forgot her. Notley, I believe is the name. Yeah, Notley is just kind of looks on over the bridge at the giant dome that is currently steady shoot, and just kind of and looks toward Star Dancer. And though you can't hear this, she still whispers to you. She still whispers something to Ring Dancer, who just kind of giggles and continues on. Ivory behind Notley just
What would be able to stop him? Just like what you said.
but Ring Dancer.
I guess I can't tell you guys.
Ring Dancer takes off ahead of Notley and Ivory, and like looks onward. All right, and she starts like readying her hose. I bet I could take him. I bet I could take him. I could take
We're
him.
just trying to slow down. We
We
don't
don't
want
want to hurt him.
Oh,
You just need to calm him down.
and she kind of looks at her hose. I could
This is not your strong suit.
I could, and she kind of just like does like a little fisticuffs maneuver, you know, knock him out.
We're trying to avoid that.
But I could.
If it comes to that, I can take care of that.
No. And like she holds up her hose. No, you don't understand. I can knock him out.
That's our next. Okay, I hear what you're saying. That's our next chance.
And if that doesn't work, Blitz could too.
I mean, you guys have 9 turns to knock me out before I fall out of rage and get fatigued for 40 turns.
9 turns? 9 turns? Oh, that's easy. I can cast. Sometimes I can cast wall of ice.
Yeah, but he gets closer each time.
It's okay. He's 180 feet away right now. Every time he breaks through it, I can just stack another dome on top of the dome.
Every time I break through, I make another 40 feet.
I feel like we're gonna get expelled for this, but then I have to remind myself we don't even go to school.
Oh well,
So
Darkfire, give me a perception check really quick.
Also, this is a magic
we're getting
university.
One.
This is probably
Hold on,
something
okay.
that happens semi-regularly.
Yeah, one, you don't even go here. 2, it's a crazy magic school. This probably isn't the worst they've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I just saw an alchemy student terrified that he just turned his friend into a frog.
Guys, here's the thing.
A 2?
Darkfire, I was just having you roll that because as you kind of look around, you see a couple of those same people in the security vest that you've seen just kind of leaning over like some of the safety bars of the moat and just like watching this whole thing go down, and just kind of picking up on your ears from the ones on your side, just kind of like looking over casually. You hear one of them say, "Huh, 3rd time this month, huh?"
But no. Anyways, everyone, like, I can make the dome appear on top of the other dome and just shift it over a few feet, so there's just another wall right in the first one.
Right as he breaks through, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'm making.
And as he breaks through, does he see Ivory over there?
Oh, do I need to make a strength check to try and smash the wall?
You can just flat out attack it if you want. You don't have to make a strength check to hit your. You can just attack it.
Right. Strength check is. If I look at it, the strength check is actually not that high, is it? Is it 23 or 14?
15 plus caster level.
That's the DC
26.
for strength.
Or, yeah.
Oof. Well. So did you break through the wall this time, or?
Are you gonna try to break it? You can just flat out attack it. You don't have to. try to
I
break it.
did that.
Oh, you just did it again. So
34. Smash.
Give me a perception check, steady shoot.
it's still up.
Oh.
You can't break through the wall.
Oof.
Really?
Or yeah, it's 19 minus 17. Sorry, so it's got 2 health bars. It only does half damage.
Well, he probably has broken a hole in it though. Just not enough to walk through.
It's like when you actually, yeah, like I mean, you pretty much got an entire hoof through. I mean, y'all see the you know the signature green hoof of Steady Shoot. No, you're attacking with your axe, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
So
yeah,
I just,
so-
I
yeah,
just
it's
had
actually the
that
blade,
picture
yeah.
in my mind of that horror movie where he breaks the door with a fire axe.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Here's Steady,
Here's
like.
steady.
And feel free to give me a perception check through that little the little hole you made, Steady, if you wish, if you so wish.
Isabel's off to the side screaming with the knife.
Ah! And
The problem is I actually have an actual good bonus on that. I only rolled a 9. But
Steady,
my bonus is still, you know, above 12.
through the crack.
Wait. Can you even make a check while you're
Yep. Yeah, it's a wisdom check.
It's not charisma, dex, or int check.
Okay.
Except
I
for
mean, that-
attack, fly, intimidate, and ride.
So
It's like, oh, you're raging? You can't look around. You won't notice anything. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
no, but Steady Shoot through the crack that you're looking through. You pull away your axe, and there she is across the bridge. The most beautiful mare you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. I start to say her name, but then I don't know her name.
As I see him break through, I cast another wall.
Oh no!
So now he can't see her, and it's just like offset, so it's like stacked on the other one, but 5 feet away from the first one, so he can't stick, or 10 feet away, so he can't just stick out his axe and stop it. I'm just gonna literally.
Oh, but here's the here's the thing. You put it 5 feet away.
10 feet.
Oh. Yeah,
I put
Steady.
it 10 feet away from him.
What's your reach when you're in rage?
The thing is that during my turn, 10 feet, but outside of my turn, it goes back to 5 feet.
Ah, okay.
So if it's all happening kind of at once, I can use this to basically have vines to slice around.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming you were
But
going.
can he reach it through the wall? Because the wall is still there. There's a tiny ass hole.
I mean, based on that description of your ability, it sounds like you can.
As
Well,
long as I
hold
can
on.
basically fit an appendage through it. If I can't fit an appendage through it, then...
Oh, you definitely can fit an appendage through a hole that big that you made.
Alright.
For that is a 23, and that's your reflex.
Oh boy.
A reflex to play.
If you want to try to negate the wall,
You could like effectively stick something in the way of the wall to stop it from forming.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really bad check.
nope, it's a fall.
Thunk.
So there's
And-
now another 33-inch thick wall of ice. Or sorry, 11-inch thick wall of ice is 33 inches.
And Ring Dancer just keeps bobbing and keeps giving like a little thing. I can knock him out. Just let me do it. Let me do it. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to spar with him for a long time.
So you still have to break through the wall of 2 HP. I think you've got it in one hit.
Yeah, we're not even gonna roll that because like your dice alone.
Wait,
The first one's not destroyed yet. There's just a small hole in it, and I saw him break through it, so I made another one preemptive.
Instead, let me open up this.
And because you can cast spells at a higher level, just not at a lower level, I can cast it another 7 times after this.
You know, Ring Dancer starts kind of going off. She's ready. She's ready. She's like outside the second dome. She's like, okay.
Like, Rain Dancer, back up.
No. She holds up a hoof. Hold on. If he gets through this one, I'm gonna knock him out. Boof. She kind of like makes like a little like, you know that Mortal Kombat like ground
Dancer,
like
please.
uppercut. No. I got this.
Like,
It's
Rain
just-
Dancer, please.
He's so bad though.
This is a surprising turn. I've been wanting to start him for a while. Come on.
That was a 3. Holy crap, that was bad.
Really? Because I keep rolling like 3s and I get like a 9. So
And she looks back, and she gives you a glare. This is if this beats your diplomacy, and I'm going to say she was not diplomatized, because this is her intimidating glare back to you. Ooh. Just barely.
She is slightly more intimidating than your diplomacy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could intimidate back, but I don't think she wants that.
What is your bonus stat, funnily enough?
To do what?
Intimidation.
Plus 25.
Oh yeah. No, hers is plus 14. No, but she gives this glare, and she does not feel apt to stand by. This is one of the rare times she gets to see Steady outside of actual combat, like raging. she's waiting outside the second wall, and she's just kind of pumping her hooves. Ooh, ah, 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 I got him. And she's just waiting. What are you doing, Steady? Shoot.
I mean, I'm smashing through the wall.
Go for it.
We're still, we have me, I think at this point I've decided he's just in an addled state of, like, rage unless anything knocks him out, and nothing has knocked him out, so...
Well, there's a volunteer.
Right. Absolutely. That's the wrong kind of knocking out, though.
So, it took you 3 turns to get through the first wall, right? 2 turns. So you're right down to 6 turns? Yeah, because the 2 attacks, we got it down from 33 to 19 and down to 2, and then we didn't roll for the third one.
Right.
We broke through.
Well, it only put me down to 7 turns, because the first turn was turn 9.
Okay, so you're at 7 now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now there's another wall of ice.
Alright. This is only in 10 feet, though. So I'm gonna make myself reach, and I'm just gonna full attack it.
Oof.
33, 31, 35. That smash through it.
He's not hasted.
33, 31. Actually, no, I do get a third attack because I now have a third attack. I haven't put it on my sheet yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
if
don't
you have the third attack, then yes. Because that's the only way you'd break through it.
Great.
And
And as soon as you do, I build another wall of ice 20 feet away.
well, if you're building it 20 feet away, I mean, Ring Dancer was already on the other side of that wall, like
I
waiting,
know.
yeah.
I'm very well aware.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're not worried about her at this point, I think.
No, they have an arena now. They can duke it out.
Oh no.
Ring Dancer was there, not
But I
Irene.
want to try to make this wall clear if I can.
No, Steady Shoot. The Mare of Your Dreams is up beyond this bridge. Currently, the third wall you have to break through is now a dome, and now you and Ring Dancer are in it. You're in
Hold on,
you're in a ring to dance.
Duck. Question, can I make this one clear?
Can you what?
Can I make this wall of ice clear?
No, for fluff, let's say yes.
Cool. He can still see the level of his life.
Oh no.
Exactly.
And Steady
You cannot
Shoot.
just reach to get to this wall. It is
Ste-
20 feet away from me.
Steady Shoot, you're met with the sight of Ring Dancer saying, "Come on, big guy!" And she just runs at you. She's already ready. And
Alright.
and as you burst through the wall, she gets her attack. And,
Okay.
I'm calling it right now.
Well, I made it clear, by the way.
Let's see if this works. I don't think it will, but let's see if this works.
Okay, I have to call this. This is in the rules. I have to call it ahead of time. She's using her knockout ability.
Yes.
Yep,
Duck,
I knew it.
So-
Duck, I made it clear.
By the
so
way,
you
by
watch
the
and find
by
out.
the way, my rage has regenerated me back to full health.
Oh no. Okay, so like
You
Only-
regenerate?
Just finished doing so because I regenerate because I'm a plant person.
only
Oh,
the
jeez.
only the
I
only
get
the
regeneration.
only the first attack on this counts for the knockout. So does this hit your AC?
Probably. No. A 6 does not.
No,
No, 31.
a 31.
Oh, 31? Yeah, no, 31 totally.
Oof. Yeah, she got another attack to her flurry of blows, so I changed it to "Oh God, please stop" for bottom there.
Sure.
So that means as she kind of pounces on you and just boof right in the chin, and I need you to give me a fortitude save of DC 20. Oof.
I knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I didn't even roll a 10. Oh, wait,
Fortitude.
No,
no, I
you
rolled
rolled
it.
an
No, I rolled
18.
it. I didn't
Oof.
have to roll a 10 to succeed.
And she boof. I mean, it's a good hit. You still take 6 damage, but like,
Oh no.
but like, she kind of withdraws her hoof. Ah, fuck! You have a hard skull.
Do I have DR2? I do have DR2.
And now it is your turn in the ring, Mr. Steady Shoot.
Okay.
Remember, you can still see her because I made the wall clearer.
Right. If I use a full attack, can I use I mean, it's still 20 feet away, so I can I?
Nope. I made it farther away this time after seeing you.
Unless you want to give
How-
Ring Dancer an attack of opportunity.
How to calm Steady Shoot down? The chill box.
The chill box.
What was I gonna do? Alright, I'm probably gonna bull rush her. Just like overrun her.
Oh, you could certainly fucking try.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, her thing for that is let's see, 33.
What?
Yeah.
How the fuck?
she gets some major bonuses to some of this stuff.
That's a major bonus.
Yeah. It's partially because I made that some of her maneuver training, so.
Well,
Yeah, she gets like hella things to like for like bull rushing, disarming, overrunning, and tripping.
Well, I'm charging through her. That's what it is. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So my overrun is to move through her.
Oh, you're overrunning,
Yes.
and that's 35.
Really?
Yeah.
How do I have a fucking 15 at this?
Oh God.
How do I have like a... And my melee BAB is, sorry, my defense is for 19. How do I have a 19 if someone else at my level has like 30 million?
30. Well,
Brawlers get like a bunch of bonuses too.
literally, so
combat maneuvers.
brawlers are like CMB and CMD like masters, effectively, from what I've
Yeah.
seen. Like, that's what they're meant to do.
Right.
They literally have an ability that says, choose one maneuver. You get a bonus both your attack and defense with that maneuver.
Yeah.
Later, choose a second maneuver. The first one gets a higher bonus.
Yep.
Sure. Alright. Well, first she gets the attack of opportunity against me. I'm not hitting anyway.
Ah. Well, she's just going to try to bap you. I don't think I could do. Yeah, it's a full round action. I can't knock you out again, but she could definitely
Yeah.
bap you, which is what she's going to do, because that's what she does. So, bap, just the first one.
And then after she hits me, I'm gonna take a penalty for that, based on my based on my hit. So that means that 9 that I got hit by is the minus I get for my C and D action.
I got you.
What is Ring Dancer's bonus to the combat maneuver?
Her bonus to which one?
The highest one.
Her highest bonus is for Awesome Blow, which is a plus 19.
How do you think they got Awesome Blow until like the much higher level?
Nope, they get Awesome Blow. I mean, that was her first maneuver training.
Right. Anyway, it's not enough.
It is not. So I mean, she does like kind of like hold her ground as you try to overrun her. And though she's small, she just kind of like she grounds herself and then pushes up against you, and you kind of like are forced to kind of stop in your tracks. I mean, she's pushed back like 5 feet. Like, don't get me wrong, you're still big and you are still probably much stronger than her in this current state. But she did not allow you to go over her, is what she did. And as she kind of goes back, she goes, Oh, you really want to fight, don't ya? And she reels back for her only other knockout of the day. Guys, don't fail me now. And that hits for another 12, and you get to make me that same fortitude save of DC 20.
Well, there you go. I rolled 2.
Ooh.
Like she can never roll bad, but I can roll bad all the time.
I mean, it's the dice, man. It's not me. But I was literally not expecting that to work. But she does reel back a hoof, and it was only because like you were just over her, but she snap right in the chin, and you see some popping of lights, ding 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 ding, ding. And fall unconscious for rounds equal to this roll. 1 round.
Do you lose your rage if you go unconscious?
I do believe so, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you're unconscious for a whole 6 seconds as she like pulls back her hoof, and she's just like, ah, fuck, that really hurts.
Right, but if it was enough to get rid of my rage, then I have more or less come to my senses.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That's
I'm
what trying to-
fatigued for like
That's okay. I think we're actually going to get to go, sleep soon.
30 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the day is almost over.
So now
Yep.
that is over, I'm going to use a scorching ray to just put a hole in this.
And
We can one parts of it that way.
I went ahead and adjusted my hit points back up by how many, what's it called, hit points I would have.
and
Actually, it's even more than that, wouldn't it?
and Ring Dancer is standing over you as you kind of blink awake, steady shoot, and she's smiling. I mean, she's still kind of holding up her hoof as if it still kind of is a little sore, and she's just like, oh my gosh, that was fun. You all right? And she's just like kind of thumping you on the head. Hey, wake up, wake up.
What?
You all right? And she does.
Stand up over her again.
She helps you up. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. She helps you back up.
Breaks through the wall.
Yeah, and then like
breaks through the wall with his dragon claws.
behind Ring Dancer, the wall starts opening up, and Ring Dancer looks back. Looks
I have
back.
literal dragon claws just breaking through.
I actually did go back up to max health because basically they weren't able to get through
Temporary HP.
my temporary HP. Yeah. Or if they were, I regenerated past it.
Darkfire from outside this quote arena, you do see a couple of the Sphinxes that had gathered a little bit closer as they were enclosed. And a couple of them are going, damn it, and then like trading a couple gold coins back to their friends who look really smug.
And I think to myself, should have gotten in on that.
and
I'm breathing heavily.
and
Get steady shoot.
Yeah, I just need to see somebody.
around this
I'm
time.
still looking at Ivory.
Oh, that reminds me. Now that this is all over,
that guy.
As far as
Nice
I
and
know,
calm
that's
down.
affecting me, right?
Huh?
That flask guy, he injected a bit of the love potion into Steady when Steady went into a rage.
Oh boy, fiery love. That's gonna be fun to deal with.
And around this time, Nauntly can be seen with Ivory starting to come over the bridge towards you guys.
well,
Out of character. This wasn't the plan.
I know, right? Not much of anything has gone to plan this time. It's hilarious.
Okay, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
my
yeah.
ice
Oh, by the
walls
way-
was a good idea.
I didn't expect like Steady to wind up dominating this session, but here we go.
Oh, it's fine.
We got two anti-steady. It's fine. Like we know my ice walls work.
Right. Well, normally he's really under control, but
What's your reflex bonus, by the way?
mine?
Yeah.
9? 6. Excuse me.
You'd have to roll nat 20 to get through.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was talking for force bands. Requires a reflex bonus. Because I could have just cast force bands. You just be tethered to the ground. But my save on that DC now is 17. So.
But where's the fun in that?
I know, right?
But now we can go like running through like a super cool area.
Well, Naughtley is coming up from behind you, Star Dancer, as you guys are kind of going into this place. She's the first to kind of say, "Oh my, you really kicked his little butt." It's just like, she's whispering this to you, Star Dancer, and just kind of pointing over to, quote, your man, unquote.
An exciting amount of presumption.
I know.
Ivory from behind, she's next to you, Star Dancer, kind of like is like looking over there. He gets like a little smile and just kind of looks on her. Ooh, who's that big guy?
Who's this?
This is Ivory talking to Star Dancer.
Oh my.
Oh my, yes,
no.
yes, oh my.
By the way, did
That's
Steady even
steady
grab his bag when we left the?
I mean, if
Oh
my
my.
bag had been set out somewhere else,
Your bag was next to the table. I just assumed that you grabbed the first weapon that you saw, which was your axe, and then just burst through the door.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah, you're raging.
I'll be right back.
Yep. And
I run back to go grab his bag. Actually,
Well, I think this is a fairly decent place to stop it. It's 11:40 for me.
oh yes,
oh yeah.
I got carried away. Sorry.
But yeah, just a little bit.
Well, it was good. Like.
It was good. Good session.
The
Yeah.
anti-steady shoot waste all the spell slots.
Oh my gosh.
I can still cast that 6 more times. I'm out of 4th level spell slots, but I still have 5th level.
Well.
I have
was
4
been-
first level spell slots. That's it.
I would have been no help because, like, I mean, I could have turned into a swarm of army ants.
Hey, Steady has most of his spell slots left, except for the one he spent on
Large person didn't work.
Yeah, the large person didn't work.
So what I wanted to do that I realized I didn't have the spell for was do Cooking Ice, because as he was charging, he wouldn't have noticed it would have literally slipped on like 130 feet of ice. It just slid and got stuck in the center of it until he like managed to get out of there. But I don't have that spell. I haven't taken it yet.
Well.
Well,
I think it's I think it is time to say goodbye to the recording then, as we are ending.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Thank you
and
for.
hopefully Little Spout will catch up next time.
Yeah. All right, I'm
This
pushing the
is now
button.
the 3rd session we've gone without a rest.
Oof.
I know.
Well.
I mean, we haven't really needed the last 2.
It's been all role playing. Only this time, all our role playing used up all of our resources.
Yeah, I'm still good. I'm still good. I can do slow casting.
I can still do spell casting. Hey, I have 6 rounds of rage left. That's enough for almost a fight.
I have a
That's enough
wand.
to get. That's enough to get through like almost all those walls of ice I can cast.
Well, I mean, I don't have to rage to get through the walls of ice.
I have one more wild shape left for the day.
How am I the only one not spent?
Because
you-
not
Because
spent.
you stay at the back and you're just like, oh, do this, you know.
Right, but I cast at least. I cast definitely 1 spell a round. How many?
For 2
hold
rounds.
On.
You cast 1 spell
Uh,
round for 2 rounds.
Isdell, sorcerers and bards get a fuck ton of spells. Also,
Yeah.
Wait, Lysander, how many 3rd level spell slots do you have?
Me 5.
Holy shit, I have 8.
Yeah.
yeah, you're sorcerer.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to press the button now. So
Okay.
goodbye,
Oh,
goodbye,
okay.
everybody. Yeah.